Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages across the world, across the galaxy. What's up, all my beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of the Purpose Pod. I am so glad that you guys chose to be with us on this evening. And for those of you listening in the future, thank you for listening in. I'm so excited to jump on this episode of the Purpose Pod, episode 4. And we have our very own DJ Davi that's going to join us. And I know we didn't have the mix today, but be on the next episode. We will have the mix. If you don't know what the mix is, DJ Davi usually mixes it up for 10 minutes for us, and we have a good time before we start the podcast. But we have him on here today, and we're going to have a great discussion. So let me bring on my boy, DJ Davi.
Yo, what up? What up? What's up, Alan?
What it do,
What's
brother? What it
good?
do? What it
Purpose
do?
Pie, what's happening?
Let's go. I was trying to refrain from doing it like how I usually do it because I was like, oh, DJ Davi, thank you for spinning the mix. I was like, oh no, I got to do it differently now. But yeah, man,
I
it's all
appreciate it.
good.
Appreciate it. What's up, man? How you living?
Man, life is good, bro. Like I've met somebody that said that we shouldn't like respond like, oh, work is good and I'm living my best life. Like there is like those are like dancing around like the actual like how you doing? Like how are things going? It's more of like the feelings and emotion side. So I'm used to saying, oh, life is good, work is good,
Right.
everything's good, but then I'm stressed out.
Oh, so you just gonna keep it 100 when people ask you that?
Yeah, I just got to keep it 100. Like if they're gonna ask me, I might as well just tell them, man. Look, I'm stressed, bro. But it's
Right,
good. It's
right.
good stress though. It's good stress.
Yeah.
Like it's good stress. Like you want to make sure your family's good. You want to make sure you're working, making money, paying bills. So it's good stress. It's just like, man, life could be a lot sometimes. So how about you? How have you been?
You know what? Everything's been pretty good. I'm out here in Sparkle City. Shout out to Sparkle City.
Sparkle City. Sparkle
We
City.
just secured a location here, the wife and I, and we're getting back to family. We're still in Miami, but we're just chilling out here, man. It's a nice pace, nice pace. We just got in a place, and looking to we don't have the necessity, so I had to do what I had to do with the shirt because I don't have an iron. But
Yeah, that's all right.
but yeah. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. That's hey, you mentioned like the slow pace thing. And I know, oh yeah, we wanted to before we jump in, y'all. We have our daughters, like well, my daughter's sleeping right now with my wife. But we have Scarlett, that will be joining us.
Okay.
Right.
You let me know when you ready for
I mean, you
Scarlett
let
because
me
she's
know. You
ready.
you 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 co-hosting with me. We
I,
hosting,
okay,
we hosted
Scarlett. Hey,
together.
Scarlett's been waiting here patiently. Scarlett, you ready?
Okay.
Come on, baby. You ready? Come on, sugar. Come on.
Let's go.
Come here, Scarlett. Oh, look at you. Look at you. Come here, Scarlett Parley.
Ooh, hold on, let me go and get the zoom in. Let me get off of here. Hold on, let's see it. Let me see.
Hey,
Let me see.
Scarlett Parley. Oh, she's gonna try to grab everything up here. Say hey, Uncle Alan.
What
Say
up,
what's up, Purpose Pod.
Scarlett? What
Go
up,
ahead.
Scarlett? We
Say
had to
what's
give
up.
her the spotlight.
Go ahead. Say what's up,
Girl,
Purpose Pod.
look at
Okay. All right.
She
All
said,
right. All right. Good job, baby. Good job. I'm gonna sit you down.
hey, oh, she growing up so fast. Look at it.
Yeah,
She's so cute.
she
She
gonna
didn't
grab
grab the mic. Oh,
everything.
she about to go.
Yeah, she about to go. All right.
She
Good
about to
job,
go in.
baby.
She
You
about to
got
go
to
in.
encourage them.
Hey,
You
look,
doing
yeah,
good, baby.
she about to go in.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
So what has she been like? What's her growing process been like
You, you know
for you
what?
guys?
I'm gonna say this. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Scarlett is a really good baby. She's a
Yeah,
really good baby, and I'm not just saying that because
she's your daughter.
when you have kids, before you have kids, you're getting all these rumors about kids, and you're talking to people, and they're
Mm-hmm.
like they're gonna scream all night, and you're gonna be up. I mean, Scarlett. I mean, for the first 6 months, she's seven.
Yeah,
For the first 6 months, she was a good baby. She went
yeah,
to sleep. When she woke up at 2 a.m., she wasn't like she would just squirm like this
yeah,
and just like, hey, I need something to drink. Can I
yeah.
get something, please? Scarlett's been a really good baby, and um, she is my pride and joy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
And
look
we're
at it.
just
She's a
working on her
little
words.
Davy. Let me see. Look at that. Look at little Davy. Little Kara Davy.
So let me ask you this, Alan. So
Yeah.
just like before you had Lola,
Mm-hmm.
all right, all right. before you had Lola, people would tell you like, what were your expectations? Like, what were you thinking versus what the reality?
Yeah, I mean, it went along with what you were saying. People are like, "Oh, the baby's going to keep you up all night, and make sure you get your rest when they get their rest." And I mean, I think that is real. Like in the first weeks, like if the baby's sleeping, and you're a new parent, you're both trying to stay up, and you like me and Amber. So like we had this whole like, oh, when it's 3 to 7, 3 to 9, like I'll stay up, you go to sleep, whatever. And we were trying to do that, but we realized that both of us were up in the middle of the night, like just jumping up, trying to see if she was okay. So that was the first like couple of weeks or whatever. And then afterward, we had our little schedule set up to where she would wake up in the middle of the night, and then the next day I would wake up in the middle of the night to fix the bottle. Outside of that, like she's been great. Like we had to do the whole well, she was born 5 pounds 9 ounces, and like she had the yellow what's that stuff called again? Jaundice. She had to like they were pretty much trying to scare us about this whole jaundice thing, like, oh, she has to be in the sunlight or be under this light for a little while longer. They had to keep pricking her feet and like taking blood, and I was getting mad. It was just a whole bunch of stuff happening, but Lola did her good. She would cry like a baby should, and then she
Yeah.
would, get back into just being her. So it's been really good, man.
Oh, that's great. Scarlett just pulled out my whole microphone set, so she had to go. Love you,
She had to
Scarlett, but
go.
you too scrummy right now. I'll
Yeah,
bring
she
you
ain't
back.
ready for it. She ain't
I'm gonna
ready
bring
for
you
it
back,
yet.
Scarlett. Not right now. Let
Yeah,
me.
not right now.
We'll bring her back toward the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of
Hopefully
which,
Lola will wake up.
yeah, when Lola wakes up, then you can come back. Okay, you did good though. Daddy's proud of you. Daddy's proud. Yeah, yeah, Daddy's proud. She's smiling.
She's smiling.
Um, yeah, you know what I got to show you how to do,
What's that?
Mr. Allen Levi Simmons?
What's that?
Change a diaper.
Change a diaper.
Yeah, I
You
got to show
what,
you how to change a
what you
diaper.
got? You got a different method or something?
Oh, this method, man, I'm gonna show you something. I'm
Uh-oh.
about to teach you something today.
Go ahead, teach me something.
I'm gonna do it later though. I'm
Oh,
gonna do it later.
you gonna change the diaper live?
I'm gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it with Scarlett though.
You got a play baby?
I got we call him Geo. I know you got
Mm.
Pepper, right?
Yeah, we got Pepper. Yeah, we got we got Pepper.
Right, yeah. I'm gonna show you on little Geo
Yeah.
how I do this.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that. The funny thing is, like with this whole dad thing, I was like, I want to start this whole reckless dad movement, right?
Okay.
And I'm thinking reckless dad. It sounds crazy, but dads usually do reckless stuff sometimes. Baby have the baby going back and forth on a carpet, like pulling them in their little chair, like doing stuff like that. Cutting the grass with the baby in the little harness. I've done that reckless daddy style, right? But
Right.
but reckless dad is really about men who would go above and beyond for their children, right? Because not all men are fathers. All some men are, they have children, but not all men father their children. So reckless dad is just
Mhm.
really about those dads who will go above and beyond for their children, and you could start to see it now. Like you would do anything for Scarlett, right?
Would you consider LeVar Ball as a reckless dad?
Hmm. Why would you put him in that bracket?
I just
Like,
feel like he does. He has 150% confidence in his kids, and he's not shy to admit that. I mean, he can be
yeah.
in the forefront, but it's all for the betterment of his children.
Well then, yeah, I call that reckless daddy then, because you know what I mean. Like it's like reckless dad is you're going above and beyond with just being a dad. Like, oh, the baby's crying, let me go pick her up, and not being intentional. Like, hey, you got this, I believe in you. Like you were doing with Scarlett when she was right there. Like, yay, next time, you got this. Like you didn't say, oh, Scarlett, you'll never come back on the Purpose Pod again. You pulling out mics and stuff, right? But yeah, I like I like fatherhood. I think that
Mhm.
it's a very good blessing.
Okay.
And I say a blessing and not in the sense of like, oh well, it's predestined that God made you a father, in that sense, because everybody has complications and different things happen. So I wouldn't put this on like, oh, God said that you were supposed to be a father, right? I would more so say, well, when you have the opportunity, not just a blessing, but when you have the opportunity to be a father, it is a great gift to
Mhm.
have. So yeah.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this question. So let's reflect on your childhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you have a child. What um what are you going to pass down to your child? Like some things that were installed in your life that you're going to pass down, and what are
Mm-hmm.
some things that you experienced in your childhood that you're not going to pass down
Hmm.
to
That's a good.
Lola?
That's a good question, Davi. That's a good question, man. So I think about this a lot. Amber and I, we talk about this a lot as well. I know we've
Hmm.
kind of shared some stuff as well. But number one is affirmation. My parents were great parents. My parents did a great job raising me, in the way that they knew how. Right.
Right.
But affirmation, I feel like a lot of children don't get affirmed as children. Children stay in your place. Children stay where they're stay where like children don't get seen pretty much. It's like stay out of sight, stay out of mind, don't cause a ruckus, and do what you're told. But I feel like children need to be affirmed, and it starts as babies. Like, Scarlett was just like smiling at you when you were talking to her because she knows you're pushing off positive. Your spirit is positive when you're speaking to her. You're not yelling at her. She could feel that love. So I think affirmation and positive reinforcement to children is what I want to do. Be intentional about it, and then
Hmm.
also just being intentional with the time that I am spending with Lola. Like, okay, I'm reading a book to her. I have to make sure I pick up that book. I make sure that I'm talking to her face to face. I'm smiling, I'm kissing her, I'm hugging her, and I want to carry that on not just as a baby, but like her whole entire life. So those are kind of like the physical side of like love. A lot of black families don't really do that. A lot of black men just don't go kissing on their babies for their whole life. Like, I love you, mwah, mwah, mwah. Daddy's always going to love you, and I'm always going to be there for you. I think instilling that in children is what I plan on doing. I
Okay.
used to get beatings a lot. I don't plan on beating Lola. So
Why is that? Because you're about to start a mutiny on
I know, I
Facebook
know,
right
I
now,
probably
right?
will, and I got family members. Well, you deserve that cutting. You wrecked grandma's van. That's probably what they would tell me. But I would say I wouldn't do that. Not because like, oh, my parents are terrible for doing it, or my grandparents are terrible for doing it. Like, they did what they knew how to do
Hmm.
with parenting. Um, but I think that it sends the wrong message to children when it comes to resolving situations.
Yeah.
Like, when if the parent is mad at the child, which is a child who does childish things, the parent should know how to communicate with that child in order to get a point across. And whether it's like, hey, you know what, I'm very disappointed in your actions, because I expect more from you. And these are the things that I'm looking to see, the change that I am looking to see in you. So like doing it like that versus like immediately grabbing the belt and
You know what? That was my first thing that I'm not passing out. I'm not spanking my,
yeah.
and I've gotten into a lot of arguments with people saying, "Oh," and when I say that, their
Mm-hmm.
response is, "Oh, so you're not going to discipline your child?" I said, "No, I
Mm-hmm.
never said that.
Right.
I never said that I wasn't going to discipline my child. I said
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to spank my child because um, this is my issue: is that you got to research, right? Do your
Mm-hmm.
research, like challenge your beliefs."
Yeah.
And when I did research, they said that children that are spanked are more aggressive.
Mm.
Their learning disability is enabled,
Yeah.
and they're more likely to be antisocial,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense
Yeah.
because with the other reason I'm sorry is because I won't be because you can't use it in life.
Right.
Let's say you're the manager of
Mm.
McDonald's and your employee shows up, like you're gonna pull out your belt and spank
Gonna start
somebody.
spanking them.
You're gonna start spanking them.
Right.
Now I'm gonna discipline them.
Mm-hmm.
You take away that phone, you take
Right.
away some keys.
Mm-hmm.
I can discipline you, but I don't
Right.
think physically assaulting someone
Yeah.
is not. And I've made it's not the way. It's not productive.
It's not healthy.
It's not healthy. It's
It's
not
not
healthy.
healthy at all, bro. It's very traumatic. Think about it. Like, I'm looking at Lola, I'm looking at Scarlett, and I'm like, okay, well, when they do something like after they learn, like, okay, this is bad, don't do it, and they do something like that, what is going to be my response? And I think parents, like I said, being taking initiative, being proactive, and saying, you know what, deciding now, like, okay, this is how I'm going to parent my child, not surprising yourself like, whoosh, like, oh man, I never knew I was going to do that to my child. No, you have to be intentional and you have to put your child first, and
Right.
like really put them first in the sense of like, oh, I care about their future and I care about their now. So let me not jack up their future by beating the crap out of them because they stole a crown from Walmart, or like, and now they're destined to go to prison for the rest of their life because they started stealing candy. I stole candy as a kid. I'm telling you, bro, like, I did some stuff, and I probably deserve a lot of whoopings that I got. And I say that in the old school sense, like I deserved it, like old school, but I could have used more, someone talking to me and sitting me down and explaining life to me. And I felt like really unprepared when I was graduating high school because I wasn't really focused or even just shown the opportunities that were
Right.
out there. I literally did not know, like, okay, well, when I go to college, I need to do XYZ, or there's this career out there, I need to do XYZ. I felt clueless, so the military was a good move. But outside of
I have a
that, I think.
question on that
Oh,
too.
go
We're
ahead.
gonna come back to that. No,
Go
keep
ahead.
going. I got a question for you on that one.
No, I was just gonna say, outside of that, I think, like, when my parents, what they did was good based on like, okay, this is what we know, and he's responding to it in this manner. Like, okay, if I got a whooping, like, I usually straighten up, and then children, we straight back away again and do a
Mhm.
little something, but my parents really never went all the way left. Like, I literally met somebody from another country whose stepdad hit him with a crowbar,
Ooh.
and his stepdad beat his mother, and his mother smashed his head against a concrete wall. Like, I'm sitting here talking to this guy, and I'm like, man, people are doing that to their children.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's it's unfathomable.
Yeah,
Gigi's going brazy in these comments.
I see that. I was trying to
What's
just
up,
say mothers
Gigi?
raise their daughters and
She
love
is
their boys,
going
and fathers love their daughters and raise their
crazy.
sons. Come on.
Hey,
Most
so
fathers
let
don't
me,
spank their daughters.
most
They need to
fathers
spank their
don't
sons.
spank their daughters. They
Mm-hmm.
usually spank their sons.
Ooh.
Now, same concept. I'm not spanking my son either if I have
Yeah.
one. He's
Yeah.
not getting spanked
Yeah.
because of the same principles. They're
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, they're all children, right? And they're
Yeah.
going to make children mistakes. We as adults, we still make simple mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody's pulling out a belt to beat us.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not spanking my. No, I gotta say this, Alan. My
Yeah.
parents are phenomenal. They're
Right.
great parents. I'm not saying my parents beat me to my back hurt, and I was they
Couldn't
got
sit
the
there.
lamp extension cord. Now my parents
Right.
didn't do that. They didn't get no lamp extension cords. They didn't get any
Yeah.
bricks, whatever they was close to.
Right.
My parents were
A shoe.
amazing. And
Yeah.
my parents had me really young.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't imagine having a kid at age 20. Period.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
know what I would do if I had a kid, but
Yeah.
I just want to thank my parents for doing a really great job
Yeah.
um, at such a young age, and then for them staying together
Mm-hmm.
for as long as they did.
Yeah.
You just don't see that in young couples anymore. For the long haul for the kids. So thank you,
Yeah.
mom. Thank you, dad.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, and I
Appreciate
and
it.
I and I love you too, parents out there, my father. I like when I talk to people about, like, back in the day, like when my grandmother, like, I'm thinking like Somerville, South Carolina, back in the day. I'm at grandma's house. I got 20 cousins in the yard. We out here cutting up, we're acting up, and that scenery, like, the punishment didn't seem like, oh, I hate you, like, oh, you're terrible. Like, the
Right.
punishment seemed like, oh, this is how we get checked, where we're from, and as I grew older, and as I even talking to Amber, like, I was initially like, oh yeah, I'm spanking butt out here, pow pow, what you do, pow pow, like, I was like, that was my mindset, when I first married Amber. And then, like, as the years progressed and as we got closer to having a baby, it just so
Mhm.
happened, like, when Lola was in her belly, I was like, man, like, okay, I do need to do things differently. I want to do things differently. Like, oh, I'm okay, quote unquote, I'm okay, but I feel like I could have been a better man during my younger years if I was disciplined differently, and disciplined with the
Yep.
intent of teaching and
Yep.
instructing and educating is what I see disciplining someone as, because our decisions come from our mind, and our hearts, right? Like first we think about like, okay, I could probably get away with doing this and skipping class or missing the school bus and not going to school. I could, we do that, and in our hearts we say, yeah, I'm gonna do that. So like if the parent could talk to the mind and the heart of a child, I think they can get through and discipline them by telling them how you disappointed me. You
Right.
disappointed me. I think that's
Right.
big. You disappointed me.
Right. Alan, let's go back to your high school.
Okay.
First of all, thank you for your service to this country.
Thank you, sir.
And when did you enlist in the Marines?
I
At
went
what
in.
age?
I was like 18.
You're
For
18.
yeah, I literally like 17. I was one of 17, 18.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just graduated high school the
All
day
right.
after high school,
This is my
2007.
question for Alan Levi Simmons. Go back to Alan Levi Simmons at 17 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and what fueled you, and what was happening around you to shift you to say, "Hey, I'm gonna join the, I will enlist in the Marine Corps." What happened? What was going on?
You really want to? I'll just play. Okay, I'll
I
answer that. You want me to say it? So,
No, I don't. I'm curious. I just want to know what's going on. Like, are you seeing
um,
homies, go to jail for
yeah,
stealing from the gas station? Are you
yeah.
seeing what's happening?
I think that's what
What is
Pensacola was.
shaping your mindset to say, you know what, I want to go into
Yeah,
the movement? Because, Mr. Allen,
yeah.
you got the Army, you got the Navy, you
Uh huh.
got the Air Force,
Yeah.
you got the Air Force Reserves.
Uh huh.
What was it about the
The
Marines that said,
Marines.
that's a fit for me?
Yeah, I mean, like they said that they would make me worse than I came in, and I was like, I need that. I'm just playing. So it was, nah, man. Like my situation, as a senior in high school, like I said, I didn't know what exactly I wanted to do. I was presented by a counselor, the this thing for African American men to teach, uh, and it was at South Carolina State. So I was already set up to go to South Carolina State. I had a room. I was going to go to school for elementary education. And like that's kind of what I figured I would do, since I was like, I love kids. I want to help kids be great, right? So elementary school was where I had the best time of my life as a student, was in elementary school. I was inspired. I was finding out who I was in elementary school. Like that early, kids are smart, right? So um lo and behold, situation happens. I'm out here having sex and doing stuff, and this girl gets pregnant, and and in the midst of, since we're talking adult stuff, we had sex, the condom pop, pretty much, right? So, not pretty much, that's what happened. So when she said she was pregnant, I thought,
That's
I
real at 17 though.
yeah,
Go
it's
ahead.
real. It's real. So, and I share the story when I go to different places. A lot of people just
Okay.
don't know. My cousin just found out why I joined the Marine Corps. I was like, cousin, you know why? Azar, I was like, cousin, you know why I joined the Marine Corps? He's like, you was motivated. Nah, bro. So this girl said, my ex, she said she was pregnant. She was pregnant for sure. And she, I was told that I was a father. So I had boys that were going into the Marine Corps right after graduation, and another guy, he had already graduated, so it's just like two of us that were graduating. And but we all four of us went into boot camp together, and I
Okay.
found out in boot camp that I am not the father, on some murder stuff. But like on, someone sends me a letter and tells me that they knew all of this was happening, and they were sorry to tell me what was going on, and yeah, you're not the dad. So here I am in boot camp finding out that I made this
Oh,
life
but she was
decision.
pregnant.
She was pregnant, and the baby is 15. Yeah, now.
Are they still together?
No, I don't think they ever like got together for the baby. They just kind of,
Right.
made it work.
Right. Oh
Yeah,
man.
crazy story, right? Like,
Man, you should have went to Mary Pivich first.
yeah.
Sorry.
First, right? No, I mean, like the way the timing was, it was like I had to like make a move. My dad literally was like, "What you gonna do?" But in other words, he was like, "What you gonna do?" And I was like,
Right.
"Dang, like I gotta make money. I can't just go to school. You can't make money in school, right? You spending money." So that's what
Yeah.
happened, bro.
Okay. I was just curious. I didn't know that story. I didn't
Yeah.
know that story. But was it? I mean, why not the Air Force? Why not the Army?
I mean, because those guys were going into the Marines,
Oh, your
so
friends. Your
yeah, they
friends
were
were.
yeah, they were
Oh,
going in the
okay.
Marines. So we did the buddy system, the buddy program.
Okay.
And you know, it was cool. Two of us went to Okinawa, Japan. After we, you know, went to our first duty stations. That was pretty cool. So yeah, that's why I went in, man. Like it was on some, like, I was supposed to be a dad. And funny thing is, now I'm a dad, and I like you said, I couldn't imagine being a dad at 17, 18. Even though people do it, it's
Right.
done, and people struggle, and they go through that struggle, and they experience that, they experience trauma in the midst of becoming early parents, right? But I am glad that I became a dad at like 32, you know, so and that's the way it played out. So
Now, I will
yeah.
say this about being a young parent, because my parents were really young, or not really, they were 20, 21. But I never felt disconnected from my
Mm-hmm.
parents. I saw kids with parents, and their parents were 65,
Mm,
72 years old. Not saying that's
yeah.
old, but when you get to like when you're in high school and you got the fads and your parents don't understand and they don't want to
Mm-hmm.
understand, my parents would always be like, "Oh, okay, that's a new thing. Cool." Like they were at least open to have a
Yeah.
conversation. So I didn't really feel like I had a parent that's like, "Oh, y'all into that hip hop and rap."
That hippity hop.
Yeah. So it was good. Now that's the thing, that's the aspect of me having a child now, is that I'm a
Yeah.
little bit older than when my parents had children. So I'm just hoping that I'm always going to be open with her. Whatever she brings to me, I want to be open to it. I just don't want to cut it off like, oh, that's young people stuff. They're
Yeah.
always, but I thought about this the other day, Alan. You know how like history just seems to repeat itself, and
Mm-hmm.
I can already see myself having these conversations with Scarlett. Scarlett, you got a cell phone. When I was your age, we
Yeah.
didn't have no cell
We ain't
phone.
had
Now
no cell phone.
we just hope somebody came and picked us up.
Right. We had
And
to
you
pass a
didn't.
letter by.
Yeah. We didn't have cell phones. Now all you
Right.
gotta do is keep track that cell phone
Yeah.
and make a call.
You keep teleporting, and we over
Yeah,
here talking about they out here teleporting.
yeah. Oh, I had that conversation, like that
Yeah.
fake conversation with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, that's how we're gonna be with Scarlett.
Yeah.
We ain't had no cell phone. You know how when you were young and your parents
Yeah.
used to say, "Oh, we didn't have no TV. We
Yeah,
had
we
two
didn't have no
channels."
TV. We had two channels.
Right.
And then you had to slap the TV on the side just to get the connection, or put the aluminum foil on the antenna. But I grew up in
Yeah.
that too.
What did
But
what did Bible man say?
oh,
Bible.
that's Pastor Speller. He said, yeah, I was 20 with my first son. I had a new pal. See, that's yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and you know, seeing Pastor Speller and his sons, I'm cool with JT. He has his sons are amazing and awesome men. So he, as a man, was able to find a way to pretty much become a parent as a young man, and produce great young men.
Yeah.
So he did a great job. So kudos to you, Pastor Speller. So so
Pastor
David,
Speller. Yes, sir.
so David, so with fatherhood
Yeah.
and you being a father of a young lady, what are some things that you're already planning to talk to her about when she comes of age to start talking about like real life stuff?
Um, that's a great question, sir. I think about this every day,
Yeah.
and I think one of the big topics, especially when she turns 5, is investing
Yeah.
money, learning how
Mm.
money works, how to make money work for you.
Mhm.
Investing is a huge component. Scholastics investing.
Yeah.
Now, when we get into and and I've talked to a lot of people about this, like, hey, give me some advice about having a daughter.
Mhm.
It's the 11, 12, 13, 14 stage where it's going to get pretty
Yeah.
rough. That's a consistent consensus.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That teenage.
I plan to have those conversations. Hey, Scarlett, I plan to have those conversations. But I want to be open to it.
Mhm.
I want to be open to. I just want to hear her. I just want
Yeah.
to let her know that I am listening to you
Mm.
and I
Yeah.
understand you.
Mhm.
I may not agree with it,
Right.
but I'm gonna listen to you and I'm gonna hear you out.
Mm.
And I think that from our childhood and even just growing up in the South, it's if you didn't like what the person was saying or you didn't agree with it, it's like you shut them off. Like you didn't even
Right.
try to understand where they're coming from. And I
Mm.
just want to
Yeah.
make sure Scarlett knows that I hear you, I understand you.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that, David, because that goes. into the communication side, like being able to communicate intentionally with your child and already having your mind made up, like, you know what, you know, even if I don't agree with what she does, let me seek to understand. There's this quote that goes, "Seek first to understand, then to be understood." I think as parents, that's the. I was talking about this on my a live video the other day. I was walking Lola, and I was just talking about like what I see parents doing,
Mhm.
friends, my family, like different people. They don't communicate well with their children, and I feel like that's why a lot of children don't listen to their parents. It's because number one, you don't see me. You don't even know who I am. You have this expectation of who you want me to be, and you have yet to accept who I am. So when the child is doing different things, I feel like parents are missing the opportunity to communicate, not to discipline. Like I said, discipline has to start in the mind and in the heart, right? Before you even think about going on the physical. The physical shouldn't happen unless they just shot somebody or something. You gotta beat the crap out of them before they get locked up. you know, but
Right, right.
on the other, and nothing's really drastic like that for parents to really put their hands on their children. It just goes to show that parents aren't taking the time to communicate. Like, I'm a grown man, I'm a grown woman, like I don't got time to talk to kids. No, you need to make time to talk to your kids so that you can have a great relationship, because isn't that what we're doing here? Like, we're not just trying to birth or bring children into the world and then throw them out there and be like, well, you are who you are, bye. We see them as their little children's self, and they're pooping in their
Mhm.
diapers, and we're changing their dirty diapers, and and it is not even a sick thing to us to change some dirty poopy diapers because we
Which Imma do
love them.
later. Imma show you how to do this,
You're
man. I'm
gonna
about
show
to
us
put you
later.
on one.
Davi's gonna show us later.
Yeah,
But
Imma show
but
you.
we love our daughters to the
Yeah.
point where we would change their poopy diapers, even if it was back to back to back, if it was a blowout, whatever it is, we would do that. So as parents, when does that change? When do you think people like change from that parent that's like intentional? I'm listening to the cry of my daughter, my son. I'm taking heed to what they're looking like, what they're feeling like. When do people change? Is that at the teenage age?
I think,
Or what?
Alan, I think it's just I don't think people are good listeners to
Mm,
just overall. I think if I'm talking to you or if you're talking to somebody else, a lot of people they're not good listeners.
mhm,
And a lot of people listen with the intent to either prove you right, prove you wrong, give you advice. And
hmm,
sometimes most people just want other people to say, "Hey, I hear you. I
right.
understand what you're going through, and it's messed up, or that's messed up." Some people don't even need advice. Sometimes you just need to talk to somebody. Somebody say, "Yeah, to agree with you," or they can say, "Hey, I hear what you're saying, but it's really not that bad." But
Yeah.
some people just want to be heard,
People just
and
want
I
to be
think that's
heard.
where it starts. Because as a kid, as a parent, you see things one way, but you're
Mhm.
failing to see it in
Mm.
this other in their perspective. All you have to do
Yeah.
is role reversal with a lot of
Come
people, and
on.
you'll understand it completely.
Yeah. I love that, David, because I'm sorry, I call you David, but Davi, I can call you
Thank
David.
you.
I can
They
call
call
you,
me DJ Davi.
okay,
Thank you.
DJ Davi. Okay. Just like, don't be calling me by my government name, boy. But I'm over here, David. I like that. But yeah, David. So, but look, man, what you just said was so powerful. So I got this beautiful broken cup, my purpose pod. This is my first purpose podcast cup, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
so the dishwasher got me real good. It did me in, but I still use it. I don't care.
Oh, I
But
thought
what
that
you
was
were
how it was going to be. I thought you were doing something
you
new.
thought
I
it
was
was
like,
something new, right? The
changing
broken
the
handle
game.
cup. The broken, that's what it's gonna be called. I'm gonna the broken handle cup.
Yeah.
Um, made
Let me
E
see
for
that. Put that on
everybody.
camera.
So
Oh, Purpose Pod
yeah, purpose
podcast.
podcast. Yeah. So but what you were saying, bro, about the perspective, it reminded me of me and we went to this premarital counseling thing in Florida. I believe it was in Florida or something.
Yeah, we had dinner. I
Oh
mean, we had
yeah,
lunch.
we had breakfast, we had brunch
Yeah, lunch in
that time,
Hollywood.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
so we were out there for that. So during that time, you just spoke about perspective and taking the time to listen, and not just being ready for a response. So what you were just saying reminds me of what the couple showed us on stage. They were like, as married couples, you have this situation, this argument, and this
Okay.
is the situation right
The
here.
cup. The cup
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
Okay.
the cup is right. So for you right now, as I put this over my face, if me and you were having an argument, right? And you see this side, you're like, well, Alan, the handle's broken, and you said this, and it made me feel this way, and like you were acting like this, and it made me feel this way, right? You're telling me what you feel. Obviously, you're not
Right.
creating or making any story up about who I am. But you're telling me what you feel and how whatever I did to you in this situation has made you feel in your perspective. And I'm like, well, Davi, I don't see no broken handle. I see the Purpose podcast, and it's always like that. So why all of a sudden da 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 da? You know, so like these arguments, and it goes for spouses and children too, and just co-working and working with other people about perspective, like Davi said. Like we have to take the time to be like, you know what, Davi, let me come on to your side and look at this broken handle and see what you're talking about. And I will listen to you describe what you're talking about, and I will seek to understand what you're talking about. And then we go on my side and I show you what I'm talking about. And then now you're ready to bring a resolution to a problem because you've been able to see it in the full spectrum, right? So that's what I want to share.
Absolutely. I think you're right. I think that's part of a lot of the problem here is that we see it from one perspective. And I mean, I do this with I do it with a lot of things in life. I just do a little role reversal.
Yeah.
And I look at it totally different. It's just totally different.
Yeah.
And a lot of things I say, I might not agree with it, but I understand it. I see what they're doing here.
Yeah.
I don't think it's right, but I see why they're responding, and understanding how something operates is almost is where you can make a lot of headway.
Come on.
These comments are going crazy, bro.
That's a good word right there. That's a good word right there. Yeah, they which one are you looking at? Are you looking at the YouTube one?
Oh yes. They said, someone said it. Gigi.
I think that's Gwen. I think that's my cousin Gwen.
Every generation goes through their fads.
Every generation goes through their fads. Yes, you will be having those conversations.
I'm already planning them.
Right. Intentionality. You got to be intentional. But it's real big, Davi. Like I really wonder, like, what would the world be like? Think about all the people out here that are doing evil right now. Think about all the people that are plotting evil right now. I just saw somebody on Instagram. He's a rapper. And I had made a video to one of his songs one time. I danced to one of his songs or whatever. He shared it. He's a cool dude, very talented. He just shared like somebody close to him had tried to rob him, and then they shot him in the head and shot him in the arm. Right. And now he's alive right now. And he's like, now he's like, I don't know who to trust or whatever. But my point is right now is the guy that did that to him is somebody's son. Right. So somebody's son shot somebody else's son, and that man is a father and a husband, right?
Right. Okay.
So now we got to look at it as, where did things go wrong? And I was thinking about this the other day when I was walking Lola. I was like, where do things go wrong when you raise children? How do they become the people that they are, right? So I feel that a lot of parents, they have their hands on the plow for the early years of the child's life. But the moment when the child becomes the adult, the parent changes roles and tries to become the child's friend. Right. And it's not like, as a parent, you can't be your child's best friend, because it should be that way. You should be their first friend, their first love. Like you should be everything to that child first. You show them what love is first. You show them how to embrace, how to hug, you show them how to talk to people. So I feel that child that shot that man, where it went wrong was because his parents took their hands off of the plow, meaning they stopped nurturing him as a child. And when you nurture, you don't have to change diapers. It's more so being there emotionally and supporting them.
That's, that's a point. I think that's what they stopped doing. They stopped changing diapers. The same sentiment you have when you change diapers. It's a nasty job. You got to do it, but you got to do it because your child needs this. You can't let your child run around with this stinking booty pamper, right? So you're gonna do it for your child. But as they get older, and this is where I think a lot of parents stop changing diapers, is when you got to get into these tough conversations. Sex, drugs, alcohol, religion. And that's one thing I'm gonna have with Scarlett: open dialect with everything. And if she has a boyfriend, we're going to do some counseling. This is how you handle a relationship. Number one, you don't go to her phone. She's not going to go through your phone. Number two, if you get upset, if somebody's cheating, you talk it out. Because kids aren't. How did you learn how to manage a relationship? How did you learn? You got to learn by trial and error, right?
Yeah. Well, you learn from what you see, and then you learn by trial and error.
Right. No one set you aside and said, okay, now you have a girlfriend. If this happens, this is what you do.
Right.
If she cheats on you, this is how you react to it. If she doesn't want to talk to you, this is how you react. Because there's a lot of, especially in this 18 to 25-year-old range, a lot of crazy stuff happening.
Yeah.
People waiting in bushes because they don't know how to manage their emotions because nobody ever taught them.
Exactly.
So I think as a parent, getting back to parents, you have to teach your kids how to handle these soft skills.
Right.
And I think this is what I'm not against, but like the whole waiting till you get married. Yeah. Let's take a poll right now. Right now. Pull it up on Facebook. How many people waited till they got married? Right? How many people? Let's take a poll. Let's keep it real. Now. Keep it 100.
Keep it 100.
If you're a doctor, if you're the highest of the high, I want to know how many people actually waited. And I'm not saying nobody has. Yeah. I'm just saying a lot of people haven't.
A lot of people haven't.
But
a lot of people who push wait until you get married. You know, and that's the thing. Like that's the thing, Davi. Like I'm at this place right now. I feel like we're in a similar place. I'm at this place right now when Lola gets of age. I am going to be the one to initiate the conversation, and it's uncomfortable, quote unquote, but it's not uncomfortable because you're my daughter, you're my baby. Like I love you. And because I love you, I'm willing to share everything with you. I'm willing to build you up because you're the lifeline that lives after I am gone. Right. And I don't want you, if everybody in the family is gone and it's just you left, I don't want you to feel alone based on what you've been taught. A lot of people experience loneliness because they've never been filled with knowledge, love, and wisdom.
Right.
But so with Lola, like I will definitely be talking about sex with her, because I definitely didn't wait till I got married. I definitely didn't do everything right in my relationship.
We're humans. We're humans.
Right.
We're humans. And on that point, someone came to me and said, Davi, what if your daughter's gay? Then she can talk to me about her gay partner. She can express to me. I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna give her the lowdown. All right, if you're gonna do this, you have to watch out for A, B, C, and D. You need to watch out for this because what happens, and it's unfortunate, especially with being gay. Like when you're black, right? You go to school and you might get heckled, you might get picked on. But then you come home and your mama loves you and your daddy loves you and your family. For the most part, you still might get picked, but they love you. But in some situations, you're gay. They pick on you at school. You come home, your parents don't want to have nothing to do with you because you're gay, and they out now. Who do you run to? Who do you run to? So I just want to make sure she knows that she has a safe haven with me. She can talk to me about anything. I'm not judge free. I call it Planet Fitness. Judge-free zone.
Come on.
Judge-free zone. Yeah. And the other thing, let's get back on the whole sex thing, right? Because I saw this video where this girl was in 6th grade and he called his daughter having, I guess she was getting with a boy. Yes, Scarlett, you gonna get on, I promise.
She said, I want to get back on, Daddy.
And so he found her. And he tore up. He put it on video and you haven't said you just right. And I'm
I saw that.
You seen that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
My question for him is, do you think she's gonna stop liking boys? Do you think she's gonna stop having feelings for boys?
She might try to fill that void that you just gave her, not you, but the dad. She might just try to fill that void with what he just gave to her, that whooping and that embarrassment, because now that creates a void. It creates a scar, in the emotions of a child when the parent just goes off and just does something, and the child is quote unquote making a mistake based on our societal norms. First and foremost, society has cultural norms that we do. There's certain things that you do, like you don't just fart on a subway train out loud. If you got a silent one, you might do that because nobody's gonna hear it, but everybody gonna smell it. But like we have societal norms, but in certain places it's okay to fart, it's okay to burp, it's okay to sneeze and no one says God bless you. It's so in different places. So think about it, everything is different, right? So we're in America. We're in a place where, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, and everything is
Right.
just like the melt, Hinduism, atheism, all this stuff. All the isms are in one pot, and spirituality and all these other things. So everybody's coming together, and there's so much information out. And now we have these children that are growing up with a plethora of information on the internet. You could go on Google and type in "how do you" and fill in the blank, and you will
Right.
find it on Google, right? So we
Right.
have all of this information out there. Parents are missing out on being the information source, in a sense of not like, oh, parents need to know everything, but
Right.
be the first
To
person.
know.
Yeah, first person to know what your child is
Yeah.
searching. You know what I mean? Like if your child is
Right.
searching on whether they want to be Buddhist or Christian or Muslim, then they should be coming to you like, hey mom, hey dad, like I know this is what you do and this is how grandma did it, but I don't know if this is for me.
Right.
Now
Right.
you have that conversation in a lot of African American homes. Um, that won't fly, because what we do, this is how we do it. This is how our family's
Yeah.
done it, and what you are trying to do goes against our societal cultural norm, and now you're wrong. So I love what you're saying about sitting Scarlett down and like talking to her. And if she thinks, okay, I'm gay, and you say, okay, well, how can I support you? How can I be
Right.
here for you versus that is terrible, that is wrong,
Right.
you're going to hell, you're going to burn for
Right.
855 million years, like all
Right.
that stuff. Like you throw all of that, and what do? You create another void. You create
Right.
another place in a space where your child cannot even approach you or talk to you, and that's sad. I think it's
Right.
very sad. So
What, and that's the thing. And that's what I said about the little girl that got a spanking. I
yeah,
said, all she's going to do is find out how to do it and not get caught.
and not
That's
get
all
caught.
that's going to do. I
Yeah,
guarantee you.
I'm
And
doing some
then
doing.
that's what's going, and you want to have that open communication.
Yeah.
Because when you talk about sex, right? Like, if you go back to whenever you started having sex, right? As a parent, don't you want to be the first person kind of, I don't want to say introduce it, but at least say, hey, this is what it is. Here
Yeah.
are the pros. Here are the cons. Here's
Right.
what don't you want to be there first instead of saying, don't have sex?
Don't you
That's
do it.
bad. Like,
Right.
that's going to make the kid want to do it even more. So
Right.
I just think I'm thinking about when I was growing up, and I definitely wish I had someone to bounce these ideas off of, just to say, hey, I'm thinking this. What do you think? Without being given
Judged.
Jesus said, wait until you get
Yeah.
married.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not I'm not knocking Jesus or anything. I'm just
Right.
saying, like,
I get what
sometimes you
you're
need
saying.
a more wider
Yeah.
perspective of what you're going through,
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in church every day. My grandma's church, and then my granddaddy's church, or my granddaddy's church, because my grandma's church was too long. But I grew up in that. So like a lot of what I talk about, excuse me, a lot of what I talk about has to do with being Christian born, and pretty much born Christian. You know what I mean? Like you're born into Christianity, and like your whole life, Easter Sunday, you got speeches, you got a whole 5-paragraph speech you got to learn as a kid. You got these plays you got to do, you're ushering, you're on a candlelight thing, you're doing all of these things,
which is
and
great. This is
which is
great.
great, which is
This is
good
great.
because it's teaching you something. And
Yeah.
even if you learn principles of spirituality, principles of there's a lot of things inside of Christianity that are great, that are good. Like, hey, even with finances, it hits on every aspect. There's a whole bunch of stuff inside of there, right? But I feel like the way the information is being passed down is more so mandatory and purgatory versus let me educate you and you make your life decision. And it shows the fear that a lot of people feel. If my child doesn't do what I say they should do, that's a fear thing. You're afraid of your child becoming what you don't want them to become.
Right.
And a lot of it is because you're trying to not people are trying to live through their children's lives. They're trying to live the rest of their life or their past life in their children's life. So if it's my mama used to do this, my daddy used to do this, you're gonna do this. No, have an open mind and step back from the situation as a parent and look at your child specifically, because all children, I heard parents that got like 8 children, they'd be like, all of them are different. 5 children, all of them are different. So you're going to have to approach each one differently. So how, as parents, can we be intentional about educating, about loving, and about listening to our children.
Yeah, that's a big part. Sometimes when you just listen to them, man, that's just you don't
Yeah.
have to say nothing. Just say, uh-huh,
Mm-hmm.
So you think
Mm.
and just asking questions to
Right.
let someone know that you're actually trying to understand them. That goes a long way. I don't think people
Yeah.
realize how far listening. You don't have to say
Listening.
nothing. You just listen to them.
Just
That
listen.
goes a long way. A
Yep.
long
Great point, Alan. Whose child ultimately are we? Facts. Facts. Hey, I say we belong to God, and at the end of the day, that's who. Like, look. So, like I said, I grew up Christian background. I believe in
Mhm,
God, right? So,
mhm,
so So with that being said, like what Pastor Speller just put up, great point, Alan. Whose child ultimately are we? Being that we belong to God. At the end of the day, like all children that come into this world come from a special place. So we come from God.
true.
We are all made in the image and likeness of God, right? So if this is true, and if when I die, if there is a heaven or hell to be put into, and I say if not to condescend any Christian philosophy, I say if because none of y'all ever died before. And I say if in respectfully, if because
Right.
nobody I know that has taught me everything and
Right.
anything has ever been on the other side.
Right.
So it's
There's a
called
book
faith,
out.
right?
There's a
Huh?
book out
There's a
though.
book out, but I don't
There
care about that. But you have not. If you
the book
died, you die. I
hey,
don't.
the
There's
book
no coming back to life, bro. If
Alan,
you,
the book said he died and went to hell for 6 minutes and
nah,
came back.
he went to the toilet for 6 minutes. I'm just
Yeah,
playing.
all
Nah.
right. Go ahead.
So
I'm sorry. I ain't mean
so I mean, because we would have to dive into a whole
Yeah, all right.
conversation
Yeah.
about religion and all this
Yeah,
other
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
and philosophy and what I believe and what, because
Yeah,
a lot of people
let's
think that
keep it
I'm
let's keep it on
I'm
the kids.
yeah, a lot of people just all in all, when you pass down, and I'm talking as a man, 33-year-old man that grew up
Mhm.
in a Christian background, and helped plan a ministry and prayed for people, prophesied, read Bible scriptures, and had Bible studies, and I was doing all of these things. COVID really taught me as a child, because whose child am I? Truly, I've connected with God, and I'm like, God, well, how can you be so loving if this person is gay, and now you have all of these rules and statutes that these people are teaching people that says that they're an abomination? Like, but you said that we're made in your image and likeness, right? And
Mhm.
then, so all of those things, if children are able to come to their parents and say, well, mom, I'm gay, and I know I'm
Right.
gay, and I love Jesus, I love the Lord,
Right.
and I don't know why he made me like this. They should not have to feel like they have to talk like that. They should say, hey, mom, hey, dad, this is who I am, and I've
Mhm.
been feeling like this ever since I was a baby, or ever since I was knowledgeable of what my feelings were for someone. I felt this way. And the parent, if they are a believer in God, their job isn't to ridicule, to beat down,
Right.
or to make their child feel lesser.
Right.
Because if you believe in God, then you believe that God has this power to do great and mighty things. So why not just listen? Why not just
Right.
be present? And why not
Right.
just love? So
Right. Right. I mean, I think that's a good point. I mean, if you look about it, and I live by different principles. My principles: listen, you can do what you want to do as long as you don't hurt anybody. If you're not hurting
yeah,
anybody and you're not messing with, do what you do. If you want to be gay and you're a good citizen, you help people out, you do your job, then I don't have a problem with you. Right? It's
yeah,
not. I'm not the judge. I can't judge anybody. I can't tell you you're wrong or right,
yeah,
because there's a lot of Christians out here that do a lot of evil stuff.
yeah.
Right, but
A
we're
lot
not
of
gonna
evil
get into
stuff
that.
that don't
Let's
get
talk.
caught. Yeah, it's true, because
Let's talk.
we going on it, we going on it, we going
This
on
is
it.
a
We
question I
talk,
got
but
to you. We're gonna keep it on the.
it's with parenting, because parenting, a lot of parents parent from their religious background, or their walk,
Right,
so they parent from that, they teach from that, so a lot of times it's important, to make sure that you make that connection. Like Pastor Speller just said, we all must be born again, but born again can't come to a person who has not yet been accepted by the people that have seen them. It's so easy for people to love God, a God they have not seen. It's so easy for people to love Jesus, a
hmm
Jesus they have not seen, but it's so difficult and hard for them to connect with their child. So those
right,
things don't add up. So when
right.
you when we talk about born again, like I said, I'm a Christian. I've been born again. I've been prayed over. I've been baptized. I've been delivered. I've
How
been
many times
whatever
you
you
been
want to
born
call
again,
it.
Alan?
Like I've been born again about, you going based off of the poem, born again 3 times, born again 4 times.
Okay.
First
Respect.
birth came from the womb of my mother.
Respect.
But
Respect.
but all in all, what I'm saying is like when we talk about parenting and then people parent, I know personally people in my family, in my life, around my circle who parent
Right.
from their beliefs, and they
True.
don't see how their beliefs are blocking them from connecting with their children, and that they respond with,
That is
well,
100% true.
yeah. So if they respond with, well, my job isn't to be friends with my child. I gotta preach the word to my child, and if they don't take heed, then the Lord will punish them. Well, the Bible says it's better to fall into the hands of God than to fall into the hands of man. So the Bible says, if you made your bed in hell, there I'll be with you. So when we look at that, and then it says all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, right? So if we look at all of this stuff that everybody's jacked up, your mama, your daddy, your grandma, your granddaddy, everybody has made mistakes and flaws, and they have their inner secrets, the things that they will never talk about. Right. They have the things that they did in the dark that only God knows, and God fixed it and God corrected it. So whenever they go out in the street, they forget what they came from and what they smelled like before they went into that situation. So like people smell themselves after they've been delivered and freed and set free and redeemed and covered by the blood of Jesus. But when you were in your mess, when you were in your situations, how did you connect with God? You had to only connect with God because you felt like God was communicating with you. There's no connecting if there's no communication. Right. So as parents, make sure that and then this is my nail on the head right here, is make sure that you're communicating with your child. Right. Whatever you're teaching your child, make sure that you're communicating. If it's religion, make sure you're connecting with your child before you present them with your beliefs.
Right. And I can add on to that. Make sure you're open, because what I just listened to you say as an example, you said either you need to do this Jesus way or else you're going to hell, or else is an ultimatum, right? That's not a open-ended like, hey, what are you thinking? Or else you go to hell. It's almost like a dictatorship. Like, this is the ship, you're on it, and if you're not on it, you're going to hell. And which ship would you rather be on? Like in your 8, 9, 12, and you're thinking, wow, these are my two options. It's like, what do I do? What do I do? Like, I really don't like this option. I really don't like this option. That's why you get a lot of rebellion. Yeah. And that we're just gonna leave it at that.
And I wanted to read. My cousin just shared this Ephesians post. You fathers, do not provoke your children to wrath, but bring them up in the training and admonition of the Lord. The Bible has many layers and highly complex. Facts, it is complex and it has many layers. But I love that. Do not provoke your children to wrath. Like, a lot of people don't care if they provoke their children to wrath. They will. I'm your daddy. I'm your mama. This is how it goes. But you shouldn't be like, man, you shouldn't be enemies with your children. I know so many people who are enemies with their children, and I feel like if we're going to do this life thing, and I mean, I'm 30, like I said, I'm 33 years old, and I think about the time that has already passed, right? I've seen family members who go years without talking to their parents. I've seen friends that go years without talking to their parents, and it's because of a communication issue. One person isn't willing to listen, and the other person isn't patient enough for the person to listen, because it's both sides. Like, you can't just be mad that your parents won't listen to you. You also have to have an understanding, like, well, they are the way they are because of how they were raised, and because of how what they now understand as how they want to live life as. So it goes like that. It's so because it's easy to blame parents for children, but then children have to understand, like I did, like with my mom, right? My mom and dad split when I was like 4 or 5. And I haven't seen my mom in person in over 20 years, right? I text her, we text, but I haven't seen her in person in over 20 years. And for the longest, it bothered me. It bothered me so much. I never talked about it, never told my dad about it, never told anybody about it, because I didn't think people would understand. Like, they would just be like, well, she is who she is. Boop, that's it, right? But no, like, okay, Alan, so what's going on? How is it making you feel? This is how someone should talk to their child. How is it making you feel?
Those are facts.
How does the separation of me and your mother, me and your mother, make you feel? What questions do you have for us?
Anything we need to clear up? Are you all good?
We need to clear up? Yeah.
Are you happy with this? Do you not want us to be together? Do you want us to be together?
Right. Because children know. Children know.
Yeah. I went to and this is the taboo word, which is really beneficial for a lot of people outside of Christianity, is counseling. Counseling is it teaches you soft skills on how to deal with conflict. And to your point, you were saying that a lot of people hadn't talked to their family because there's a communication issue.
Right.
And my friend and I, we went to counseling, and the whole time we're in counseling, we're like, well, this is what you did to me, and you're messed up because you're wrong. And he was like, you're wrong and you're wrong. And the counselor said, wait a minute, we're not going to play who's wrong and who's right. Just, I want you to understand how that person felt, no matter what the outcome was. And when we shifted our attack to saying, hey, let me just understand how you feel, everything just dislodged and said, oh, I made you feel that way. Yeah. And then you had to repeat back. You had to repeat back what the person was saying to you. So, because usually you talk,
right?
And then, okay, here we go, my turn. Let me show you how you all messed up now. And then your turn now. And then you gonna come up now, mother. Right. And then everybody's gonna get loud. And then somebody gonna push. Right. Everybody's gonna say F you. And then somebody gonna hang up the phone.
Right.
But they were like, no, you're gonna sit and listen to this person. And then you gotta regurgitate what they just told you and understand where they're coming from. Yeah. And that's huge right there. That's that. Yeah. And a lot of people don't want to go to counseling and they're afraid of it, but it is it will help you in your relationships for the longevity of it so much. I mean, that was 2 sessions too. So yeah, it was good. I have a question for you, Alan.
Come on.
What are some things, and I'll go first so you can kind of get the idea. What are some things that agitate you when it comes to Lola and other people interacting with Lola? I'm gonna tell you what mine is. When people see Scarlett, I hate this. She's not a puppy. She's not a dog. Do not snap at my daughter. What is this? Does that let the baby know you're a human being? Like Scarlett was sitting there like, "Whoo, I'm glad you did that because I thought you was a mannequin for a second." I don't do that. Do not do that to my daughter. If y'all come around, I will go off. Yeah. That's one of my 2. What's one of yours?
I mean, I think my main thing is, Lola's a little chunky, and people, I've heard so many things like, it's like, oh my God, she's so fat, or oh my God, all of those. Yeah, like people just say some out the mouth stuff like, oh my God, she's so roly poly-ish, or like, I'm like, my baby's healthy, chunky, beautiful. Like, why y'all keep like it's like it's like my gray hair. It's like my gray hair. It's like my gray hair, Davi, because people
got a little salt and pepper.
I got a lot of salt and pepper. But this is just who I am, though, right? Like this, I didn't diet. Like this is just what my hair looks like based on my life. This is my genes and everything else. This is what it looks like, and I've accepted it. But then you go outside and somebody's first thing, oh my God, you got gray hair. Oh my God, wow, you got so much gray hair. Oh my God, wow. And I'm telling you, Davi, like I've heard it like 10 times back to back to back. I'm going somewhere, man, you got gray hair. You kind of young, right? So I see that same way with Lola. Like people just say stuff out of their mouth without even thinking about what it's going to do to the person that they're saying it to or the people that's around. So as parents, we have to deal with people doing the, hey, gaga googa, acting like our baby can't understand regular talking, or just saying, oh, your baby, your baby didn't have this, or my baby had all this when my baby was 7 pounds 30 inches when they were born, and like they're going through. It's like, dude, nobody. This is my child. Right. This is who she is. Just let her be.
People say some real. On that note, though, I am very sensitive to when it comes to people's physical, just like you did with the salt and pepper thing. And there was a girl. I was somewhere, and there was a girl, and she had like some kind of disformity, and she walked past me. I just walked past, hey, and kept going. And somebody's like, "Oh, did you say that?" And I said, "Yo, chill." Like if you think about that person, everywhere they go, they probably deal with that. So when they come to me, I at least want to make them feel normal, right? Just normal. I'm not gonna go overboard. I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm just gonna make them feel normal. Yeah. And to your point, it's just like people will say some really. I don't know if people don't think, just some real off the wall things. We had
smackable stuff.
We had Scarlett in a dress with a tutu on and hair barrettes, and our front desk lady said, "Oh, did you have a boy?" Come on, man. You see her in this dress. You see her in this dress. Don't play with me like that. Yeah. Don't play with me.
It's true.
Scarlett was 3
I'm trying to
months.
play.
They're gonna look at my wife and say, "Are you pregnant again?"
Wow.
Oh,
Yep. See, that's
you
that
trying to
smackable stuff right there. That's that.
oh,
That'll get you.
and my wife didn't say nothing. We got in the car. I was like, "Oh, she's not upset."
Yeah.
But just like a ticking time bomb, she said, "Did you hear what that lady said to me?" I was like, I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Because it does, like, people, like I said, people don't pay attention to what they're saying to people, and they don't care about how they make them feel. Like, they'll just say whatever they feel, and then it's like regurgitating words and not really process. It's all communication, Davi, because if we communicate with ourselves and tell ourselves, like, okay, this is what I'm about to say. Should I say this, or should I just hold back? Or I don't know if this baby's a boy or a girl. Should I say, oh, cute boy, or should I just say, oh, your baby's very beautiful? You know, you have
I
a
don't like
beautiful
when
baby,
people. I don't.
or whatever.
If you're not in my inner circle, don't tell me my baby's beautiful. What you mean?
Yeah.
All babies are beautiful.
All
I'm
babies are
just
beautiful.
now that I'm a
Yeah.
parent, I'm a
Come on.
lot different. I am
Yeah.
so much different. The other thing I don't like, Alan.
What's that?
I don't like people telling me, trying to remind me I got kids. I know I got kids. Like I was telling Frank, I was like, yeah, I gotta fly up to Milwaukee. Now I'm hit Chicago and Cleveland. Now, Dave, remember you got a daughter at home. I know I got a daughter at home. So you ain't got to remind me I got a daughter. I know I see her every day. Right. I know I got all this in my head. I got it planned out, mapped out, what she gonna do, who's gonna take care of her.
Right.
And she might even come. I've had that happen to me like 4 or 5 times. People are like, now, David, you gotta save your money. You got a daughter now. I know I got a daughter. Don't tell me I got a daughter. I know I see her. Like I didn't forget. Like I'm just gonna go off for 3 months and be like, you know what?
I got a daughter.
I got a daughter. Hey, let me get back home.
Right.
Boy, I'm telling you, boy.
Get back home.
You know, you got now. Remember, you got a daughter. You gotta save that money.
You gotta save that money.
Boy,
and we already got the. Hey, you talked about, and I know we're kind of over the hour mark, but it's just me and you, so we good. And people, feel free to fall in, fall out, whatever you want to do. This is going to be recorded.
Man, these comments going crazy. Gigi,
let me go back.
Gigi said something way back. She said something about a fad. She said people.
Oh, we had already did that one.
Oh, we did. You today are way too serious.
We didn't see the movie
dating.
The Shack. Help me with some of the questions.
The Shack. What is The Shack about?
I don't know. I think it's
like Shaquille O'Neal. What? No. What is The Shack about?
Like, I don't know. I think it's a faith-based movie. I don't know.
Okay, let's see what this. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I'm joking. I know it's
not
about
Pastor Speller said, if I could sum up raising my young men, it would be Christ, consistency and compassion. And like I said, his sons are amazing young men, very thoughtful, compassionate men. And when you talk about raising your sons in Christ, I would figure that they would exemplify that kind of behavior. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people represent Christ, and then they just are all types of jacked up. You know what I mean? Like they mean, they don't care about people, they don't forgive people, they don't love people. So like people that are truly compassionate, I could see it from their life. So Pastor Speller, you did a great job, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The Lord, and they should go, and even when they are old, they will not return from it. Children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring of the Lord. Come on, y'all dropping out these scripture verses right here on the Church of the Purpose Pod. I appreciate y'all. I really do. If y'all have any comments, questions, just let us know. Granted, you may have heard stuff that you don't agree with. Our job is not to convince you to agree with what we say. Our job is to communicate on subjects like fatherhood, life, and all of those things in between, because parenting is important. Like we could do this together, or we could do this like solo. So I'd rather like, iron sharpens iron, in the sense of like, hey, if that didn't work for our family, maybe you should start getting a life insurance plan early. Maybe you should start saving money early. Like these are all things. It's not just politics, religion, sex, and drugs. It's like finances, like you were saying, financial literacy. Yeah. I'm thinking of so many different. I'm like, all right, how do I need to create something else where I'm putting money aside and it's generating income while it's sitting there. And that's what I'm going to do with Lola. Lola's going to be taken care of no matter when I die. Like it doesn't matter when I die, she's going to be taken care of now. And
Alan, I'm be 100 with you, man. I'm trying to have Scarlett taken care of by the time she turns 18, so she doesn't have to work for anybody, because we work, right? We're in this job market, and it's a little different for women. Like I've seen at jobs where women have quit because somebody doesn't want to be in a relationship with them. You see what I'm saying? And I don't want Scarlett to be under that type of pressure. She's gonna be smart. She can do whatever she want to do, independent
Yeah.
business. But this job market and women in the workforce
Mm-hmm.
just is really crazy. It is.
Yeah.
I remember I had a female director,
Mm-hmm.
and she came into Miami, and me, and my account's just like, I've never seen them act like this.
Yeah.
My accounts like, cool. Hey, what's up? What's going on? They came
Mm-hmm.
in there, they were grilling her. What you doing? What you getting? Why you getting? Why we ain't getting this? I'm like, what the work? And it's because
Wow.
I felt like it
She's a
was
woman.
because she was a female. They wanted just to go
Right.
extra, and she was really good. She was tough
Mm.
and everything. She was a really good director. And I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just me venting.
Yeah.
What do
That's
you?
real though.
Yeah. And you know what else I have to do, Alan?
What's that?
I got an issue an apology
Uh-oh.
to the parents of Bookman Road Elementary, Columbia, South Carolina. If you had a child that went there between 2000 and 2003, I just want to apologize.
What you do?
Because I used to drop, my little brother Jordan,
Uh-huh.
he used to go to elementary school. So I was going to
Yeah.
high school. So I'd have to drop him off at school,
Uh-huh.
right? So I'd be like, all right, you here, go, peace. When he shut the door, I'm off, right? But then I would get stuck behind these cars who are
Uh-huh.
watching their children. They're
Mm.
first graders, they're kindergartners,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just watching them like, oh, there goes my little baby. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Oh my
Right.
God. And I'm like, lady, do you not see that what do you call them, little hall monitors? There's a hall
Uh-huh.
monitor right there. They're gonna make sure your kids get there safely. But
Yeah.
now that I have a daughter,
Right.
I'm gonna be there right there. I'm gonna drop her
Right
off and
there.
I'm gonna be like, there goes my daughter. Oh my
My
God.
baby.
I'm gonna watch her walk all the way into school,
Right.
close that door, and then I'm gonna sit there for about a minute and watch her just there she
Yeah.
goes. And I understand it now. And I'm Bookman Elementary parents of
Yeah.
2000. If you had a kid, I apologize. I didn't mean to be so
Yeah.
rushed.
Don't
I
come
was
for
rushed.
don't come for Davi, y'all. He didn't understand about that whole parenting thing.
Oh
It's
yeah.
funny because like when I was in church and stuff, and like people's kids would be running around, and I'm like, I'm over here like, y'all need to get y'all kids, like get these kids, put these kids in check. And now I'm like, look, I understand. Like if the kids start crying, we're out in public at a restaurant, everybody's enjoying their meal. Lola was sleeping good. She wake up, she sees that we're out eating. I'm eating good, eating some seafood, and she's like, start screaming. I'm like, it's okay, baby. And I'm not even thinking about the people that are probably like, you need to get your baby in check. You need to get that baby.
I think parents understand it though. I think if you get
Right.
someone that has a parent, they're like, the other thing I've in the first 7 months, when parents or people would see us with Scarlett, they'd be like,
Mhm.
oh, I remember when our kids were that age. And then they go into this whole reminiscing
Yeah.
stage.
Yep.
And I'm like, wow, is it that serious? But
Yeah.
then when I see a new infant baby,
Yeah.
I go, oh man, I remember when Scarlett was that big. And then I go into this whole
Yeah.
journey of, oh man, you remember when Scarlett. So I understand, like, I can only imagine how it is when you have a child and they turn 18, 19, 22, and then you
Yeah.
see an infant child, and then it takes you all the way back to when you
Yeah.
had your infant child. Because I do it. Scarlett's only 7 months.
Right.
So that's
That's real.
something I'm noticing.
Yeah. And that's good. And I hope that kind of thing spreads like wildfire across the world. Like I really hope that people, when they listen to this conversation that we've had tonight, like they'll be like, you know what? Look in the mirror. Like it all starts with us. Like I have to check myself daily on how I'm responding to my wife, how I'm like being around my family. Like I have to be accountable to myself for what I'm doing and saying and treating people. And I don't think a lot of people are doing that. They're not checking themselves before they walk out into the when you get into the bedroom or when you get into the living room or whatever you're doing in the house. There's a lot of people who walk around with this cloud, and they don't think about how they're going to treat other people and what that impact will do to the people that are around them. So parents, if your children are not communicating with you, maybe you should initiate a conversation and dialogue, but be open to your child. Don't just go in with the intention to change them. And that was a big
Yeah,
thing for
that's
me
big.
when I would
That's big.
evangelize. Like when I would go out and like talk to people about God, I would literally not even like, I wouldn't pull out scriptures. I wouldn't be doing that. I connected with them on my story, right? I would
Right.
connect with them on like, oh, this is what I experienced. This is what my life has been like. And this is how I got to where I am. And what about you? And that open question leads them into pouring out, man. Like I said, the guy that I spoke to, who's from another country, who's here now, he said my stepdad beat me in the head with a crowbar.
Ooh,
He was gonna beat my mom. My mom smashed my head into a wall. You know, like this young man, I'm looking at him, I'm like, man, are parents lacking the ability to connect with their children? Like, what is going on? So
I
I
don't
really
know.
just I
I don't
really
know,
hope people do
Alan.
it.
When you think about that, it might. I think it may not be their ability to connect, but
Yeah.
it just might be like if you don't like yourself and then you reproduce something
Mm,
that is like
mm,
you,
ooh,
you're more tended not to like yourself. Like, and
ooh.
I'm not gonna get into that whole scenario, but I'm just leave it very on the surface. Like if you don't like yourself and then you
Mhm,
reproduce a copy of you, because like you said, Alan,
mhm.
when I posted that picture of me just staring at Scarlett like this, because I'm
Yeah,
fascinated. At some point, I'm fascinated because it's like it's a part of
you
it's
can see her.
me
You can see you
recreated,
in her. Mhm,
right? And I'm fascinated by that, and I want her to do well. But if you don't
mhm,
like yourself,
mhm.
and then you hit copy paste, are you going to start liking yourself?
Are you gonna reject yourself?
I don't know.
You
And I
know?
think that I mean that's
Yeah.
unfortunate because it damages the child, and the child doesn't know what they did wrong. A lot of kids think they're
Mhm.
doing stuff wrong, and
Yeah.
it might not have anything to do with the child.
Yeah.
But that's an unfortunate
That's
situation.
that's big. It is, bro. And so it is. And like I've heard stories from children at the Strategic Behavioral Health Center in Charlotte when I was doing my nonprofit work. I would go in there, and like I said, I would open up with my story. This is what happened to me. This is what my life was like.
Mhm.
And I would say, anybody want to share? And there's these teenagers, 13, 14,
Yeah.
17. A girl, she's, my father raped me, my grandfather molested me. A boy, I saw my father get shot in the head right in front of me and my little brother. My mom overdosed on drugs, same boy. Like there's all of these stories, and there's children who are being displaced because of parents making the wrong decisions, right? And we all think like, oh, I'm a parent, I know right from wrong, I know what to do and how to do it. This is my child. Don't tell me how to raise my child. I feel like if it's wise, if it's wisdom, you should take heed to it. If somebody's coming to you and your family not never taught you about finances, and they come and tell
Yeah.
you, hey, even if you make $500 a month, put $10 aside every month for your child, or find a way to invest that little $5 of that $10 and put that $5 into uh some kind of stock or anything of that nature.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I don't do that. That's $10. That's all I got. Well, if you continue with that mindset, you're going to pass that mindset down. And we
There you
talk
go.
about generational curses. Well, that's just generational information, and it's misinformation. And if you don't have the right information, you're being misinformed, and you're probably going to do things the wrong way. So yeah, that's why I'm in
Yeah.
this space, David, where I'm like, you know what, I
I-
don't know everything, and I am open to listening to people, right? And there's people told me some stuff recently. I'm just like, yeah, that works for you. I can never see myself doing that. That's good, and that's good that you did it, but I don't think I'd be doing that, right? And this is
Mhm.
this, so we have to be able to take bits and pieces. We don't have to reject people because of their philosophies or their mindsets. If you listen and you find something that you can agree with or you can apply to your life, be wise and use that wisdom. So that's all I got to say on that. But yeah,
I
man.
think
So
on that same note of
yeah,
generational information, my parents did the best they could, and their grandparents did, and they didn't have access to the amount of information that we have
yeah,
uh, today, and they did what they had to do to get us where we are.
mm-hmm,
But I think it's important that you're aware of the information that's being passed down and being,
mm-hmm,
like you said, being open. Because I've
mm-hmm,
met people like that too. I'm like, hey, they were talking about, oh, they're building all this stuff. We're not getting any money. I was like, well, you can invest in REITs, or I think that's what's
mm,
called REIT, real estate investment
yeah,
uh,
big,
trades. And they're like,
mm-hmm.
I ain't put my money. I'm not doing that. But
I'm not giving my money to no
to
stranger.
me, it's a thought process.
Yeah,
Why is it so hard for you to say, let yes, Scarlett, we're gonna get you too.
we're gonna get you on that, Scarlett.
Why is it so hard to say, you know what? I don't know a lot about it, but let
Yeah,
me at least let me listen to what you have to say. Let me see how it works, because it might be beneficial.
Right.
You know,
It might change your life.
right. I've I hate to say it, but I've since when I moved out of South Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
like my mind kind of opened up to opposite things, because when you
Yeah.
live in Miami, everybody's not a Christian.
Yeah.
You have you got Haitians, you have Jews down there, you have Russians, and now they all
Mm-hmm.
practice different religions. You just got
Yeah.
to respect.
Respect.
They respect what you do. You
Mm-hmm.
got Islamic people, you respect what they do,
Mm-hmm.
they respect what you do. Just don't violate them. And with that came, okay, let me understand. Like I knew an Islamic guy. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
why is it that y'all can only have 4 wives? Why is it not 5? Why is it not 7? Why is it,
Yeah.
who said it had to be 4? He's like, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But I never said, hey, that's wrong for you to have 4 wives. You should have
Mm-hmm.
one. I wanted to understand. So
One.
it's
Right.
almost like an exercise. So
Mm-hmm.
once I questioned that, I said, well, let me question this, and let me
Mm-hmm.
question it. Let me just understand. And I'm not saying I'm going
Right.
to go Islamic.
Right.
I just want to understand why they operate in the manner that they operate.
Mm-hmm.
So I think with that, and going back to your point of spreading information, sometimes you have to get out and experience different things, because it will unlock different parts of your mind
Yeah.
to focus in different areas.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and
Yeah.
I've
Sorry, got on that little rant.
that's real. And I think like those experiences lead us to becoming better people. I think everybody's trying to get somewhere. Like I'm not rushing to get to heaven. Like I'm chilling. I'm gonna soak up as much life as I can.
Yeah.
And when I get to where I'm going, what you guys have done in my life will matter to a sense, but you guys won't die with me. I look at people in this sense, like if if we die at the same time, I still die alone. So you don't die with me, right? Even if we, like on the Titanic, people were dying, like they were all drowning in the water, and
Uh-huh.
you know that person still experienced an individual death,
Okay.
right?
All
An
right.
individual closing of the eyes, an
All
individual
right.
experience of passing from this life to another. So if that's the
Okay.
case, then the way people live their lives isn't for us to decide how they live their life. Our Like you said, our job is to understand, to
Mhm.
ask questions, to query, and then in your query, you then now learn new things, and maybe you find something about yourself that you never knew before, because now you have this information about other people. There's a lot of people who look at black people and are like, well, I don't get why black people do this. Why black or white people do this,
Yeah.
or why Asian people do this. Like we don't know yet. We don't even have open dialogue discussions about it so that we can now have more wisdom.
Right.
So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah.
Yeah, you know what show you would enjoy?
What's
There's a
that?
show called Midnight Gospel on Netflix. It
Midnight
is
gospel. That's one.
it is kind of peculiar,
Yeah.
but the conversation is
It's
great.
real. I
But
like real authentic. I like real authentic conversations. Like I like people
it's
who can, like my boy Ali. Like he's
yeah.
Muslim. I'm Christian,
Uh-huh.
and we went to get brunch in between classes one day when I was at UNC Charlotte. Like we first time getting brunch together, hanging out. I'm this evangelist kind of guy, praying for people and doing all this stuff, right? And I got my Muslim friend right here, right? So we're sitting there and we have this amazing conversation. I'm telling him about my upbringings. I'm telling him
Mhm.
about my faith, what I believe in, how I believe it, why I believe it. And he's doing the same. He's talking to me about what he believes in and how he believes in it. And I'm learning so much about him. And I'm not learning to be influenced. I'm learning to gain more understanding. So, like a lot of people go
Mhm.
into conversations thinking, oh, they're going to try to change me, or I have to try to change them. When instead, like we were saying earlier, it all goes back to listening. So, as parents, I hope that we all can take that away from this conversation, is that you have your way of living, you have your way of life. You should
Yeah.
definitely teach your children the principles that you have learned that will be good for them. But you have to be at a position to where you can allow them space to discover who they are, and you support them throughout their lifetime. You support them. And just because you support them doesn't mean you agree with them. Like Davi said, you don't have to agree with everything
Right.
your child does. You support them because of your genuine love for their stinky diapers, and you're willing to wipe their butts.
That's true, Alan, because Yeah, I mean, when it comes to kids, you're their first line of defense, and
Yeah.
probably in the end of it, you're the last line of defense, right?
Yeah. Facts.
And if they do something, I mean, it's going to happen. They're gonna go in directions you don't want them. My dad wanted me to go into the military,
Yeah.
and I
I
didn't want to
bet.
go. I did not want to go. I
I
didn't want to
bet.
go. But every conversation led to like, well, if you go in the military, if you go in the military, and I said, I just want that. Like, talk to me about something. Like, if I don't want to go, talk to me about something I might be interested in.
Yeah.
Like, and,
Mm.
and my dad is great. I mean, he's very
Yeah.
successful and he's a great father.
Yeah.
He did a great job raising us. So that's not it wasn't like that was my 18 years.
Yeah.
But at that point in my life, I needed someone to say, what do you want to do? And if you
Mm.
don't know, let's try to figure this
Let's
out
try to
together.
figure it out. Come on, brother.
Let's figure, and that's what I'm going to do with Scarlett.
Yeah.
Is I'm gonna be very in tune, and I think that was the other thing. When you have
Mm-hmm.
kids at a young age, it's kind of hard for you to be in tune to your kids because
Mm-hmm.
you're still growing as a human being. You're
Right.
still developing. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're almost still a baby at 18, 19, 20,
Yeah.
right?
It's true.
So, and there's no knock on that. And I think parents that are 19, 20, I salute them because
Yeah.
that's a major responsibility. And then people who are 19, 20 that raise really great kids, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
salute, because that's a
Right.
huge,
That's
heavy
huge.
burden.
Right.
And I think right now in my life, I'm kind of set. I know who I am, and I
Mm-hmm.
can focus on Scarlett
Mm-hmm.
Parley.
Yeah.
And that's one of the advantages I have of being
Yeah.
older. But at the same time, when you're younger, you get more time with your kids.
You get more
So it's
time.
like a give and take,
It's a give and take. It's true. It's a give and take. I think the big thing is like when we get the time and when the time is presented to us with the gift of life, we must take advantage of that time and spend intentional moments with our family. I do that a lot now. I'm like, okay, Amber keeps talking about ice cream. Hey, let's go get ice cream. And it's nice outside. We're pushing the stroller. I love pushing the stroller, bro. I'm the stroller pusher out here, dog. I'm telling you, dog. I will push my daughter in that stroller.
I see you pushing in that
Yeah,
stroller.
man, I love it because
Lola's
I
too
take
cool
her.
for school.
She too cool for school,
She
baby.
really is.
But she go to class. But I told, but real talk, real quick. We're about to wrap up, people. We're about to wrap up in a little bit. But if you got to go, you can go. Like I said, you can catch the replay, and fast forward and do whatever you want to do. So,
Yeah.
with Lola though, man, I'm so glad that in the middle of my work day, when I take lunch, I don't rush to go do stuff. Right? I'm not. Oh, I'm on lunch break. Let me go do this. My first thought is, it'd be nice for Lola to go outside and get to like experience this. This is a
Right.
new world, bro. I seen Lola like with
It hits you, right?
yeah, bro. It's a new world to her. So I'm
Yeah.
pushing her under the tree, and like the trees are moving for some strange reason. And you know what she's thinking, like the trees are swaying and moving, nobody's pushing it. So she's probably in her little mind, like, "Who? What's that? How does that work?"
Right. You got to teach them all
Airplanes flying over, and she about to break her neck trying to look up, and I love it. So I take her outside. I talk to her. I make a live video, but I get off a live and then I talk to Lola. I'm like, Lola, I love you, baby. I believe in you. You're gonna do great. You're
That's
awesome.
great.
I talk to
Yeah.
her. So I love that part about being a parent.
You know what I started doing too? My brother, we went out before Scarlett. It's like 5 years before Scarlett, and we went out to a
Yeah.
bar. And my brother hadn't drank in a minute, so he was drinking. He goes, he's just nice, tipsy, nice. He goes, you know what? Kingston would love this place. I'm like, your 4-year-old son?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. But then I understand where he's at because I was buying a car and they had like the little shade thing, the automatic thing, like the window came
On the
down,
window,
the
yeah.
window up, and then the shade went up. And I said, Scarlett would like that.
Like that.
Scarlett's like 2 months old.
Right.
But then I'm starting to understand it more as a parent. Like you think things parents do is weird, but it's really not. It's all about perspective. But shout out to my big brother Anthony and my little brother Jordan and all my
What up, boss?
brother Gracie, Gracie,
Boo.
Leah, Amber. How y'all doing?
What up, y'all? What up, y'all?
Big shout out.
Yeah, shout out to all my siblings.
Oh, we gotta do. You know what we gotta do, Alan? I gotta show you how to change these diapers.
Oh yeah, you gotta show me that. You gotta show me that. You gotta show me that. And I want to thank everybody who's watching right now. Please make sure you go like and subscribe. Share this video. The Purpose Pod. We got other videos if you don't want to share this one. DJ Davi is going to show us how to change diapers his way.
This is Gio.
Hey,
Say what's up to Gio. What up, Gio?
Hey, Gio.
Hey, Scarlett and Geo like this.
Yeah,
Boy, they tight.
they
All
tight.
right, now this is what you need, my boy. This is what you need, right? You know you got the wipes, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the most imperative things you're gonna need. You're gonna
Hold
need a
on, let me
box of
put you on the
these.
screen.
You're gonna
There
need a
you go.
box of these gloves right here. Okay.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
So what you
So you
do?
fancy then, because I don't wear gloves. I go
Nah,
all
man.
in.
See, this right here. I don't care. You could talk about me, but
Yeah,
I'm
you
wearing
can
these
talk about it.
gloves.
Somebody gonna be talking about Davi tonight.
I don't care. Y'all talk about me. I put these gloves on like that. Right. And then you got, whatever your little baby Earl is,
Yeah,
baby oil. I call it baby Earl.
yeah.
Whatever baby oil you want to put on the baby. So this is what you do, right? You
You got
get
the
these
gloves off.
gloves. You get these gloves on. This I'm telling you, bro. I'm gonna change your
Come
life
on,
right now.
talk to me. Talk
So
to
we
me.
got Geo right here. Oh, Geo, you done did one today. You own
Mhm.
one today, Geo. Ooh wee, right? So this is what you do, right? So you get this, right? Yeah,
You might
y'all
have to
can't see.
pull it up. We
Let
can't
me
see
get.
it.
There we
Yeah,
go.
let's come down. Yeah,
There we go. Okay, so listen, this is what you do, right? So you got Geo here.
Uh-huh.
And Geo then, woo wee, Geo, you
Stinky,
didn't went
stinky.
in, you went brazy on the day.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you take the diaper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, and you wiping off,
Hold
like
on,
you
you off
clean it.
screen. You off screen. I can't see.
All right.
Turn Gio the other way. Go the other way. Rotate the
Oh,
other
go
way.
this way. Oh man,
Yeah.
you gonna make me use the hand I ain't good at.
He said, I've been practicing with this
But
other
right.
hand.
So you're gonna wipe Geo off, right? Boom. You're gonna
Uh-huh.
wipe them off, boom, right? You're gonna ball this up, right? You're gonna
Uh-huh.
set this off to the side.
Okay.
You're gonna set it off to the side. Then you're gonna get your handy wipe, right? This is probably something
Uh,
you do. Then you clean them up. You gotta clean them up, and you gotta make sure you clean them good.
right.
But when you cleaning them, you're gonna get some like right here, right here. But that's why you laughing, because you're gonna get some right here. You're gonna get a little some right there.
Yeah.
Some going
Something dripped on your head.
no, you go like God. Right. But see, the gloves, let me say something. The gloves allows you to get up in there if you need
Right.
to. It allows you to get up in there and not be worry free, because you get a little something that's on your hand.
Right.
You're gonna have to go bathe. Right. So this is
I like that.
this is where the game is changed right here.
Okay.
You ready? So you got your diaper,
Yeah.
right? So you're gonna ball it up because you got on your gloves. So if you get something right here, you do this right here. You take this, boom.
I need a bag.
Right.
Come on.
Boom. Look at that.
Come on.
Now you got your free hand.
Come on.
And then you go here. Like so. Right. Now, right here. You good, right? You can hold this. You can Kobe it in the trash can. It's not going to smell.
Right.
It's not going to you ain't got to worry about it getting on your hand.
Yeah.
And then if you still changing Geo,
Uh-huh.
right? If Geo still, and you set it down because you got to get your other diaper, right? And then what I usually come through with some hand sanitizer, make sure I clean my hands.
Right.
And then I do like Vaseline, put the bait. But if you leave right here, you saw Scarlett, she reaching. She's real reaching. She reached for everything. So if they grab this, you ain't got to worry about them grabbing a dirty diaper, or
right?
putting the diaper in their face. Even though you're
Right.
supposed to go to the trash can, you want to do it all in one set.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this right here.
I like that. You might have an invention right there, though. I think I'm feeling like, because we got the diaper bags, the trash bags where you put the diaper in and you tie it up and you throw it away. But if you had the glove that turned into the bag, the trash, but come on, the throwaway, because you just take it off and put it over the diaper. Now we just need to add, if we add a flap on the glove, right, and then you just be able to pull the flap over like that. Boom. Now it's like an official trash bag glove.
You can't smell it. The smell is concealed in two gloves. Right. And sometimes, Scarlett be going hard in the paint sometimes.
Go hard in the paint.
And I got to take one glove and just get the diaper off. And then I got to take out a second set of gloves just to wipe up, because she be going hard in the paint. I love you, Scarlett.
Yeah. You stupid. He said, I love you, Scarlett. It was nothing personal, baby.
But yeah, this is think about when you're traveling, right? You at somebody's house, or you in the airport.
Yeah.
And you don't got gloves, and you didn't got something on your hand.
Right.
Now you on the airplane.
You didn't touch your nose and
you smelling like boo boo. Everybody like somebody
smell like boo boo.
I'm telling you, I'm about to change your life, bro.
Yeah, I like that. I might go ahead and try to put on gloves, and I'm gonna let you know how that go. I'm about to do that, because that seems very efficient.
Oh man. I'm telling. I knew this. People laughed at me, and just remember this: when people laugh at you, they gonna be thanking you later. People laughed at me when I said, "No, I'm getting latex gloves." I'm getting latex gloves. Oh, you ain't gonna want to change no diaper. You gonna do that for the. That's how they was looking too. You don't want to change no diaper. You ain't gonna get no diaper. I was like, all right,
That's
watch
what they
this.
look like.
You ain't gonna get no. You ain't gonna change no diaper.
They looking at this video like, I can't believe that boy said what I look like. I'm just playing. Whoever
Yo,
that is, I'm just playing.
man, this I'm telling you,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm gonna
This
try that out though. Because
it doesn't smell. It
yeah,
really doesn't smell. You don't have a scent. You just throw it right in the trash.
yeah.
Your hands are nice and clean
Mm-hmm.
afterwards. And it's very sanitary.
Yeah.
To me, it's
See,
very
that would
sanitary.
go on the reckless daddy content because the reckless
Yeah,
daddy, like so there's not a lot of African American men on YouTube or anything where you look up like dad radio, dad podcast, dad whatever blog. You don't see a lot of African American men in there, and representation does matter for those of you who don't believe it. But
right.
like that right there, that tip right there is good for everybody, all men. But
Come
it's
on.
good to see like, and even though it's we know from our fathers that black men do take care of their families and their children, and they can be great fathers. We know that, but a lot of people in the world just think that black men are out here shooting, gangbanging, doing all whatever, and not taking care of their family. So the fact that you came up with that is amazing.
Thank
And
you.
I love sharing. Like I'm like over here thinking like, oh man, like how do I make a video and just talk about like carrying the car seat, right? I was carrying the car seat from the handle, right? I was
Mhm.
carrying the car seat from the handle the whole time. I'm like, oh my god, it's so heavy, right? But then I forgot somebody told me like, oh, you're supposed to reach. So there's the bar, right? So you usually carry it like this
Uh-huh.
and hold the car seat. But if you reach inward and grab the little handle thing that
Uh-huh.
sits on the latch, and there's like a little knob right there. You hold on to that, bam, and you carry your child like that, like you could do.
Oh,
It's so easy, bro. Instead of using your biceps, you just
you was
reach
doing it
in.
wrong.
Yeah, I was doing it wrong. So but yeah,
Oh.
parenting stuff right there.
Where you were
But yeah,
carrying that car seat to?
oh, it was just like before we wouldn't use the stroller sometimes when we were going to like her appointments and stuff. We would just like
That
carry
is
the
the
car
thing
seat.
right there.
Yeah,
That's the big decision you have to make. Do we
yeah,
bring the stroller or do we
right.
just carry her?
Do we
Because
just
you
carry
think,
it?
oh, it's a little 10-pound baby,
No, that
20-pound.
thing
I'll be all right.
that add up.
You did that. You do that. I did that one time. I was like, man, where's that stroller at?
Where that stroller at? Put that baby in. Somebody get
Yeah.
that stroller. But
Yeah.
look, we about to close up. We've been rocking for a good minute, man.
Okay.
We had a good talk, and this is the special. So if y'all don't follow the Purpose Pod, DJ Davi is our DJ. He gives us our 10-minute mix
Thank
during
you.
our season. So it's been great having him on there, and I'm so excited to be able to have this is a great opportunity, even with Mother's Day coming up soon, to have this kind of conversation. And hopefully when people listen to this, they'll say, you know what, I'm a child and I have a parent, and my parents have been doing it this way. Maybe I should give them some grace. Maybe I should try to learn about my mom or my dad's life, and not try to fix my parent, but understand my parent. And then parents, understand your children. What have you
Right.
done that has influenced them, or what kind of lack are they experiencing that you did not provide, and is the reason why they are behaving in a manner. Like, ask yourself these questions and be real with yourself, but then also carry that conversation over to the child and discuss life with them. Just be a life partner and talk to your children about life. Hey, this is what I decided to do with my life. And you may make your own decisions, but whatever you do, I am going to back you up. I'm going to be your parent. And not like I'm going to invest in your mistakes. I'm just going to be there for you. Like, I'm going to be the person, like, if you get locked up, my dad always said, I'll never bail. Don't call me to bail you out. Okay. But please come visit me. But yeah, that's love right there. I won't bail you out because you made a mistake, and you may have to suffer the consequences of your mistake. But I can still support you. Dylan Roof, this dude that shot up in Charleston, shot up that church.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like, what is his parents like? What are they doing to support their child who just did this unthinkable thing
Mhm.
to some innocent people? Like, what are they doing? So these parents that are the parents of children shooting schools, and parents that are the parents of children murdering people, parents of children beating on women and beating on men, like, what do you do in that position? You're only, I think the first thing we have to do as parents is one, love, love, love. Two, communicate, communicate, communicate. And three, listen, or put listen before you communicate. So, but yeah, so Will Fullwood, what up, my brother? Contraband. Hey, this is Will's kind of conversations. Well, more so on race. He has great discussions. The Contraband Wagon about race. So I know he loves this conversation. He loves opening the can that people don't like to open. So I gave very similar advice to someone last week. So that's good. Then we talking some truth there. We talking some real truth here. So that's good. So we about to wrap it up. DJ Davi, I wanted to know if you had something to say to the folks out there. Well, actually, before you do that, let me give a quick shout out and then we'll do the wrap up. I won't end it like I do with other people kicking them off the thing. I'll leave you on here because you're my guy.
Thank you.
Let me do these quick shout outs though. So I definitely got a shout out. Red at 28th. They're in Greenville and Charlotte. It's a hookah lounge. That's where I used to chill.
There's a Red in Greenville?
Yeah,
go check it out.
There's a Red in Greenville out
Greenville
there.
on Main Street.
I don't know what street it's called, but it's out there. Yeah, it might be out there on that.
Is it owned by a dude named Red?
Jazz.
Is there a dude named Red?
No, I don't think so.
Are you sure? Because when I was in your city, like 3 people would be like, "Are you Red?" I'm like, "Who's Red?"
Yeah, I don't know, but
I think he owned Red Cafe.
All right, like that ain't me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Red at 28.
I'm in Sparkle City. I'm gonna come check y'all out this week.
Yeah, check them out, man. Check them out. Red at 28.
See if they popping on Thursday.
They definitely not just business owners, but my friends. I really appreciate them, and they anteed up and was like, "Yo, we see what you do. We love what you do, and we believe in what you do. So we're gonna sponsor you guys. So I appreciate you guys. And also shout out to my boy Fode for this dope pick, my dope pictures that he's taking. But also remember, folks, in your life, whatever you do, whatever you're going through, never stop, never quit, repeat. Shout out to Stephanie Showstack. She joined us last episode on the Purpose Pod. She's an amazing actress. Make sure you check her out.
Stephanie, can I go back? Can you go back to Stephanie? Right quick?
Let me go back.
Stephanie, I just want to apologize. Me and Alan, Alan and I talked about this, and I ain't mean to mess up your name. Really enjoyed the show. We talked about it. I just want to apologize for that error.
I'll make sure I put this on social media. I'll make sure I snippet that out so she can hear it.
Yeah. I was so hyped to do.
Yeah, you said Zostack. I was like, no.
I was like, no. We talked about this because I called you. I was like, is it Zostack or
you said is it Zostack or Showstack? But yeah, so
you're like a show,
like a show.
I should have wrote it down on my hand.
You should have wrote it down.
My bad.
But shout out to Mike Hill, open mic. Shout out to my boy Mike, my cousin. Charmaine has extra sweet digital. Shout out to her. If you got your digital services, websites, anything you need, media, marketing, go check her out. Shout out to my barber.
Digital. What is that? What do they do?
So pretty much if you need think about GoDaddy.
Okay.
Think about GoDaddy and then think about managing all your social media accounts on one platform.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything. TikTok,
all
website.
That. Yep.
They do it all in one spot.
All in one spot.
Okay, dope. That's dope.
Facts.
That's pretty tight.
Pretty tight. So, and then my barber, Nikki over here, Charlotte, Mario's my Charlotte barber, but Nikki here is my Durham barber. She hooked me up. She went along with my Mohawk idea. You see, I got the Mohawk going on now, and it's doing me right. I feel good. I feel very confident in myself, and I bought some. I'm gonna be real. I bought some dye the other day. I was gonna dye my hair. I was gonna dye most of this gray black. Because
you was going back to black.
I was going back to black, and then I really had to just think I had to really accept myself fully. And I'm saying accept myself to the point where if somebody says, "Oh my God, you're gaining weight," I'm not like, "Oh, I'm fat. I hate myself." "Oh, you got more gray hair. Oh, I'm old. I hate myself. Let me dye my hair." No, let me embrace the figure that I see in the mirror. So I love the fact that this gray hair is actually the thorn in my flesh. It's a challenge to myself because I was a very cocky person in my life, and it took this to check me. Like, hey, you know what? This is your flaw. Other people got outwardly flaws, like you said, and I say flaws in the sense of it's something that society sees as a flaw, not perfect.
I don't know, man. Depends on who you ask. But go ahead.
I mean, because Amber loves the gray hair though.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that.
There's a lot of she did.
I was gonna ask you that. I'm gonna just ask you.
Yeah.
I'm
She
gonna
likes
ask
it.
you. I'm
She
gonna
loves
ask
it.
you this question. Do you? Okay, I'm gonna put you on the spot on the purpose pod.
Uh-oh. Oh God.
Can I put you on the spot?
Oh God.
No, all right. I ain't gonna put,
Go
no, I'm
ahead.
gonna put you. I'm
What
gonna
you
put you
want
on
to
the
ask
spot,
me,
dude.
Davi?
Since you got the salt and pepper, like I heard people, girls like the salt and pepper. Like
Yeah.
people be like, go ahead, Mister Salt and Pepper. You getting a lot
Yeah,
of
I
that?
mean, yeah, I told Amber, the brother still got swag, what I'm saying? So, so I try to tell a girl, I've been out at Walmart and they can't stop looking at me,
I
and I
knew.
think
Hey,
it's a
don't try
great
to.
dog.
I knew
It's
it.
great dog.
I know.
Now I
I know.
twisted it up.
There is a market for that salt and
Yeah,
pepper
it
look.
is. It's everybody has. Look, it doesn't matter what you look like, where you come from, who you is. There is somebody out there who loves you the way that you are. Mm.
Hey, Alan,
What's up?
snaps.
Come on,
I was
come on.
gonna do a little salt and pepper to see if I can get a job promotion.
That might work, dog.
I was
They
gonna
might
put
be
a little
like,
more. Oh,
they
he
they
must
they
be.
still look at you like, dog, Davi, he
Yeah,
hasn't aged on the job yet.
yeah,
So let's
yeah.
he's
He had
doing good.
matured enough for us.
Yeah, he ain't
I was gonna put
matured
a
enough.
little salt right there, little pinch right there,
Nah,
little
just let it
gray.
come. It'll come when it come, dog. Just let it come. When it come, it'll
Yeah,
take over. Once these things come in, it takes over. But
yeah.
Fode, my boy. I hope you saw the
Hey,
shout out I just did of you, Fode.
yo,
But shout
photo,
out
your
Fode.
photos are flames,
Come on,
bro.
fire
I
flames.
be like, Alan, you got a personal photographer or something? How you get all these professional
Right.
pictures
He hooks it
all
up,
the
dog.
time?
He hooks it up. Like every picture I have, like what this one right here.
Yeah,
Fode took that picture, right? I mean, well, he didn't take that one. Sorry, let me take that down for you. I'm not bad. But that one right there, Fode took that, and that one right
yo,
there, he took it. So I told my boy Fode, like when we talk about purpose, man, like he has a skill, he has a gift, and so we sharpen each other up all the time. So I love connecting with Fode. I heard scientifically women like guys with gray hair because it makes them look older and wiser. Thank you, Brendan. You heard right, brother.
hey, big
You
shout out to
heard right,
Brandon.
Brendan Brown.
Hey, you know
Brendan,
what time it is? Brandon
it's
know what time.
Brendan, the young man. So Brendan, you
Hey,
got some time, bro. You got some time for that thing to shine, boy. But when it shine, let it shine, brother. Let it shine. Let this. So, but yeah, y'all make sure y'all check out Brendan as well. Influencer B, check him out. So let me finish up these shout outs.
oh yeah,
I said Nikki Cuts by Nikki. Y'all check her out. If you're ever in Durham, Raleigh, RTP area, check out Nikki at the Renaissance Barbershop. And then we got Petty Gigs. Check out Petty Gigs if you got. So Davi, listen. So Petty Gigs is pretty much like if you got like some high school students, college students, and they're looking to do some side gigs, cutting
okay,
grass, wiring, TV, hiding the TV wires, like different stuff like that, walking dogs and wash whatever you got. Petty gigs is you don't want to do, but you'll pay somebody else to do. And so
right.
you could be a gigger or you can be a gig poster. So you can be somebody who works the gigs or you could post a gig. So that's pretty cool.
You got somebody come pick some flowers or
Right, pick some
something
flowers,
like that.
something.
You can do or put up
Yeah.
some groceries.
It's pretty cool, man. It's pretty
Okay,
cool that they
I'm
started
gonna
that.
check. Is it free or you got to pay?
So membership stuff, I think you could sign up for free. It's
Okay,
just like going on there and I mean, as a gig poster, there may be some like other stuff behind it. I can't talk on it. But I will let you guys know who to talk to if you're interested in that.
okay,
So Hey Ty app, boy Kerry, he's out here in North Carolina. It's Black News, Black Entertainment. And the Purpose Pod is featured on there. So shout out to Hey Ty app. And also Cool People Network. We're on Cool People Network. We're Cool People Network. Shout out to my boy Alex. He has the Purpose Pod on there as well. I really appreciate it. And also my boy DJ Davi right here.
boom,
Go
boom, boom,
DJ
boom, boom,
Davi. Y'all
boom.
already know what it is. This man right here, he gets us right on the Purpose Pod day in and day out. So I really do appreciate it. Man, you've made my show. Let me give you your roses now. You've made my show so much better in my eyes. It's not even like people like, oh man, I love it. I love it. I look at like who we are both connected to now. Like you share a lot of mutual people because people have come on the show. You've shouted them out. That you've presented their stuff in a way that they're like, oh man, like he's spinning some tunes and he's marketing me. Like this is great. You do a great job at that. So thank you so much for all you do for the Purpose Pod.
Oh,
And
thank you, sir. I appreciate I appreciate being a part of the show because
yeah,
it's and I never told you this, Alan, but like there was a point where you got COVID and I really wasn't gigging, and the Purpose
yeah,
Pod was really my gig. So I
Yeah.
want to thank you for giving me an opportunity just to go
Oh,
on, and people
man.
like, oh, you DJ, I see you on the Purpose Pod. I see
Right.
you doing 10-minute bit. I'm sorry
Yeah.
about all these different
Yeah. The
impersonations.
accent. Yeah, I know you doing impressions.
But I appreciate you giving me the opportunity
Yeah.
when I had no opportunity. So you
Oh,
created
man.
something for me, and it kept my skills in check,
Yeah.
and it just kept me on my P's and Q's. So thank you.
I
I'm
appreciate it.
truly appreciative of being a part of the Purpose Pod. It's
Yeah.
consistent business. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. And like I don't know if you would have ever been doing videos like what you're doing now. Like what you did some Halloween stuff. You did Memorial Day stuff, like you was Veterans Day, like you was doing mixes and you had the visuals and you put all of that stuff together. That's like me doing my flyers. Those are great skills that we learn by just being efficient and learning new things.
Right.
And I had 3 more shout outs
Okay.
real quick. So I have this gig I'm doing on the 30th this Saturday. I don't know if people could go, but it's in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Shout out to my boy Standback. And Reese Royal. Shout out to them. Reese Royal. Shout out to them. I'll be performing. I'm like the opener for Standback. You already met Standback.
Yeah.
So
Stand back
yeah,
music.
yeah, it's gonna be dope. So
Number
they're gonna let me.
19.
Yeah, they're gonna summer 19 party like a 99. Hey, look, so we're gonna be we gonna be out there. We're gonna tear the club up. Let me stop. I'm gonna just do some poems. But I had to shout out my baby before they took this picture as well. But yeah, Lola is
Ooh-wee.
sleeping. She's probably waking up in a little bit, but
Lola.
she's sleeping. My little
She's so
baby.
adorable.
She's so adorable. Thank you, God. I appreciate it. That's
Lola.
she makes me so proud. She makes me so proud. And Kia Flow, shout out to Kia Flow. I will be interviewed May 12th on her podcast, special guest. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned to that. Flowtainment. Y'all make sure y'all check Kia Flow out. So that was the last of my shout outs. My last question for you, DJ Davi, was: is there any words of encouragement that you want to share with the parents out there or the children out there? Like, what are some words that you would like to share with them heading into Mother's Day and the rest of the year?
Can I give some shout outs?
Oh, go ahead, bro.
Thank you. Shout out my beautiful wife. Happy
Care?
Mother's Day, and to all the mothers, because we wouldn't be here without mothers, especially my wife.
Yeah.
Producing the art Scarlett was an arduous task,
Yeah.
to say the least. So she was strong, and I don't know how she did it, but she did it. So
Yeah.
shout out to her. Shout out to my family. Shout out to the Camp Phone Podcast. My boy Justin Time, Justin Adjma, see you. Shout out to Nautilus Hotel, Styles Hotel. And Purpose Pod, of course. To the Purpose Pod Army, we appreciate y'all.
We
Y'all was going
appreciate
hard
y'all.
in
We
these
have some
comments today.
consistent. We have a lot of dedicated followers, and I do appreciate the people that have like really showed up to every live interview. Pastor Speller, Brendan, my cousin Gwen, Azar. Yeah, I know like people that come on. I know who they are when they start talking and stuff, and I'm like, man, it's so awesome for you guys to really just support the vision that we have here, and our vision is just to share purpose. Like being a parent is a purpose as well, and we all have different ways of doing it, but we could at least listen and hear the hearts of people and learn something about ourselves and others. So yes, so
shout out to my boy Beats by Mikhail too, Run G Entertainment. Appreciate that.
Up.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Click
okay, you said it like you was throwing up the thing. Well, squad up.
I think for to answer your for the people out there, I've been a parent for 7 months, but I've been studying parents for like the last 15 years. And how you grow up and you always say, I'm not going to do that for my kid because I didn't like it. And it's more of an overly compensating behavior. Just listen to your kids, try to understand them. Don't always feel like you have to give them instructions. Just understand them. I think obedience and discipline is of the utmost importance, making sure they respect adults, respect elders, use great manners. That's still one of my core beliefs. So I'm not even knocking that. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying that even with my baby sister, I just try to listen to her.
Yeah.
Mallory Grace. I just try to listen to her. I just try to talk to her, try to understand what her thought process is. We went to the same middle school, and it's not the same middle school. So I got to understand what she's going through. So just try to listen. Just try to listen, understand, and then put yourself in their shoes. It'll change a lot for you. Once you think about somebody else's viewpoint, it'll change a lot for you. And like I said, I understand why a lot of people do what they do. I don't really agree with it, but I understand, like, if I was in that position, how would I react? I probably would do the same thing. So thank you. And follow me, go DJ.com. Enjoyed it. Mr. Alan Levi Simmons.
Yeah, I was missing the intro, man. You know, you usually do it, you know, Mr.
Never
Never Stop,
never
quit.
quit.
Repeat, back for the three-peat. Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's my dog. I'll be turning up. But yeah, man, so y'all connect with DJ Davi on Instagram at Go DJ Davi. Y'all make sure y'all follow and subscribe. The Purpose Pod. Share this video, please. Like and share the video. Put it in your stories. You don't even have to say nothing. Just share it. Let people, let them judge for themselves if they want watching this stuff. So I'm about to close out. DJ Davi, I'll see you in a little bit in the backdrop, brother.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Purpose Pod, and thank you for the interaction in the comments. We really appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Really do. And Kara, Scarlett, we appreciate y'all. Happy early Mother's Day, Kara. And Scarlett, thank you for is Scarlett still there?
Scarlett, you ready to get back on? Let's see.
Let her say bye.
Let's see.
Let her say bye. Yeah. So we closing out. So if y'all gotta go, I just want to see Scarlett again. I just want to see the baby. She didn't switch up on her. She didn't change outfits. Scarlett, she ready to go to bed. Don't let her drop. Get him up.
She gonna hold herself up.
Yeah, she just sitting there.
She gonna hold herself up.
Hey,
right?
Listen, she doing a good job. Yeah,
she's gonna have to. I already told her. I was like, me and Scarlett having this conversation. I said, Scarlett, I'm not gonna be here to catch you all the time. You got to do this. You got to do this.
You got to do it.
You got to take it, Scarlett. You want to take us home, or you gonna give it to Alan so he can take us home? What you got to say?
Mike,
go ahead. What you got?
Yeah.
Say, all right, Purpose Pod. We see y'all later. Go ahead. Say bye. All right, that's good.
All right, bro. I'll see you in a little bit. Hold on. Just hold on right there. All right. So this has been another episode of the Purpose Pod. That was my boy DJ Davi and his beautiful daughter Scarlett. I hope that everybody enjoyed this podcast episode of the Purpose Pod. This was actually like we put this together and we're like, yo, this is what we're gonna do. We had a conversation on the phone. And DJ Davi stepped up. I really do appreciate him for stepping up because I had an interview that did not go as planned, and it threw a little wrench in my process. But DJ Davi stepped up as he always does, so I truly appreciate him. Once again, shout out to Red at 28 for being our sponsor. This has been another episode of the Purpose Pod, purposely driving you forward. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you will subscribe and tell your friends all about us. I am your host, Alan Levi Simmons, Mr. Never Stop, Never Quit, Repeat. Peace.